Hello. And what the hell?
Oh my giddy aunt. Oh my gosh. Hey, can you hear me, guys?
Yeah.
Sending much abundant love all around. Jojo, we can hear and see you fine. You're looking fine.
Oh, I'm so hot, Dee. Honestly, I'm melting. Oh.
Jojo, if you could sit back for just 10 minutes. I know you've been on just 10 minutes, and I'm going to have a quick chat with Ash, and then I'm bringing you on, my love. Is that okay?
Yeah, no problem.
So Cecile's going to bump you off the screen.
Yep.
So greetings, everybody. Greetings. Welcome to Real Talk with Simply Deez. Yes, Ash, we've never met.
Oh, yes. I'm good to meet you. Nice to see you.
Yeah. So I'm the one of the crazy people of Simply Deez events, founder, and this is the show due first Tuesday of the month. And I know you possibly going to come on with Sharon, and obviously just due to circumstances. The thing about this show, and obviously the show you was on before, is we like to keep it real.
Okay. I'll try to keep it as
we
real
like to keep it we like to keep it real. So obviously, as Joe has just said, it is absolutely sweltering, and I know because I'm a postwoman.
Okay.
I'm a postwoman delivering that post to everybody. So Ash, there's many people that don't know who you are, so before we kind of get into kind of like what you actually do, if you can just briefly just tell us a little bit about yourself, and then if you could tell us about your work with Flying Start. I know we've started late tonight, and I sort of said to Sharon I'd be able to squeeze you in now for about 10 minutes.
No, thank you. That's much appreciated. I mean, my principal role is I'm a senior lecturer at the University of Bedfordshire, and I teach on my childhood and youth studies degree course. So a fundamental part of what I teach is around children's rights, advocacy, child development, working with families, and so on and so forth. And it was a couple of years ago I was looking for suitable placements really for students to go and volunteer their time, so we can make these really good connections between what students learn and applying them in practice. In various situations. So I sort of wandered down to sort of Flying Start and spoke to Sharon, and she said, well, we're running this dads group, and it's really difficult trying to get men to volunteer for this sort of thing. Would you be interested? So I kind of felt as if I'm going to be promoting volunteering to my students, then perhaps I should lead from the front. And that's how I ended up still doing this. And so yes, after a number of years, I'm still doing the volunteering, still doing the dads group with Sharon and others.
Absolutely fantastic. So there's lots of people out there that are like, dads group, where is this? When is this? And who's it for? I know we're saying dads, but I mean,
yes. Well, once we would love to run this more and more often, but of course the reality is funding, availability, venues, and so on and so forth. So one of the things we do is once a month. It's usually the last Saturday of the month. We run a dads group, and what we try to do is we try to make it a fairly loose theme, but we try to sort of do something like dad's mental health, for example. So it's just 2 hours where dads, stepdads, uncles, grandparents, male carers can just come and spend a couple of hours with their children, reading, playing. There's soft play stuff there as well. But we also are there as a drop in to support the dads. So anything around mental health, anything around the practical issues, like how do I register for a dentist? How do I find a good childminder? When do my children need to be registered for school? And so on and so forth. So we tend to do that. Although saying that, I must get this in, but the next one is on the 19th of January, and it's at the park. At Stockwood Park, so from 10 o'clock till half 11, 12 o'clock, depending on the weather. But if you go on the website, we'll the details will be there for you.
I don't know where she's gone.
Oh, okay. Am I talking to the void?
No, that's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
We are just having a whale of a time today,
Okay.
and IT and everything else is just going through the roof. So,
Okay.
did you say the end of? Is it the end of July?
The next group for before we stop for the August, because it's during because of school holidays, is on the 19th of July. On the 19th of July, we're meeting at the park. So rather than everyone being indoors, we're going to Stockwood Park, and we're just going to have an outdoor sort of bring a lunch box, bring some balls, and all that sort of stuff. And that's what the plan is there. So that's the 19th, and then we'll stop for August. Then convene in September. But perhaps more pressingly, we've got a an event on the 12th of July at Parktown Family Hub in Bailey Street, and that's just working in conjunction with the NSPCC about getting dads involved in aspects of safeguarding their children and child safety. Child safeguarding is a kind of it's progressive, it evolves, it adapts, it adjusts, and there's always new risks and new threats and new concerns for parents about the well-being of their children. So this one is really about two things really. One is the issue about online safety, even with because social media is a reality for many of our lives as parents, as carers, and for our children. It's useful and it's amazing, but it comes fraught with some areas of concern that we need to monitor. But it's also about sort of getting this one is for dads and male carers, but just kind of getting them involved, because there are subtleties around safeguarding children that perhaps have moved forward in recent years. In the past, it used to be about protecting children from strangers in parks. Now it's much more subtle. Our children spend as much time online as they possibly do in a park,
if not more.
if not more, and it's depending on the weather and all of those, and also about availability. So a lot of the things we discussed is about how to develop a relationship with your child as a father that allows for those open forms of communication about what children do without feeling that it's like they're worried about the answer they may give. There's some interesting data out there carried out from a colleague of mine, Debbie Ornock, a few years ago, that children, when they disclose they're unhappy, are more likely to tell other children, and those other children are more likely to tell their parents.
Right.
So part of what we're looking at is if your child is telling you that one of their friends is unhappy at home, that you have to have that confidence to think, right, what do I do with that information now? Because children will tell teachers, but first of all, they don't always tell teachers. They won't tell social workers. They nearly never tell the police. But what they'll do is they'll tell each other. And then I think as a parent, if your child tells you something, you're involved. So you kind of have to speak up on behalf and negotiate and advocate on behalf of that child. And just perhaps have the confidence to ask some interesting questions or speak to someone else about it. So really that's the sort of the NSPCC workshop in a nutshell, really, is about just developing dads that confidence, because I think ordinarily we tend to kind of delegate roles of listening to mums, and dads tend to squeeze what time they can, sometimes around work hours, if I'm not sort of speaking to sort of generally, into sort of bedtime, reading, bath time, fun in the park, doing fun stuff. And it's just about developing that open space for a child to be able to say, Dad, can I talk? Or for you to be able to say, I've noticed something different. Can we talk about something? And just about develop and not just passing on to mum or nan or auntie or anyone else like that, because that's what we tend to do.
Okay. What's the age group that you have?
Well, it's for anyone really whose children are under the age of 8.
Okay.
Really. So on the dads group, we've had dads come down whose babies are brand new and fresh, like weeks old.
Okay.
And we have dads who bring male carers that have children who are 8 and 7 and 8. So we there's lots of activities for them to do, but I'd say one of the concerns is just an open space, really, a drop-in for parents to be able to raise their concerns, and also for dads to talk to each other, because historically we're not very good at talking to each other about our experiences, particularly about things that perhaps may impact our how we view ourselves in a masculine way about what a dad is and what a dad does and how a dad should behave. So anything about dressing up with your daughter, playing princesses and ponies and unicorns and all that sort of stuff is uncomfortable for some dads, but it's okay.
Oh wow, it would be. We'll give you information with regards to, because I don't know if you know, but for the past probably about 9 years now, we actually run an international men's event.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yes. So 19th of November is International Men's Day. This is globally, and there isn't hardly next to any events with regards to men and allowing men. You know, we hype about International Women's Day and we tell the guys and we want them to attend. And as you know, we as women, we want you guys to support us. But then we flip that script, and it's a case of people say men don't talk. And if you give them the opportunity and the platform, trust me, they do.
I think there is a small window of opportunity, which isn't helped by the very small amount of time that dads get for paternity leave when their children are born. So how they quickly ascertain their role in the whole new dynamic of being a dad is quite interesting, and it's not to sort of degrade the conversation about women taking stuff away from men. I don't want to go down that road at all. But it's sometimes, I think, easy for dads to feel just to kind of hide in the background. And unless encouraged or prompted, sometimes coerced, they're quite happy to stay in the background, and that becomes the default position. Mum will do parents' evening. Mum will do we'll do schools events, and then eventually, historically, perhaps sociologically, dads then go back into the kind of, well, I'll just provide then, and they become and the disciplinarian. And actually, what we know is a lot of dads want to be much more involved, but don't always step forward to volunteer. They kind of have to be encouraged to do this.
Definitely. There's so much more, Ash.
Yes.
There is so much more, because I've heard you on the Simply Together show with Cecile and Nikkei. That was a few weeks back. And this, we've got a relationship with sort of like Flying Start, and they've been on quite a few times, obviously with various different things they're doing and various different projects. What I'm going to get Cecile to do, she'll be like, because today our regular producer, Shelley Titmus, is taking leave. And so that's why we've started late, and we're kind of just fathering it all out. Got loads of guests on today, so I've got to keep it tight and on schedule. But it's so lovely to actually meet you. I know not in person, but to meet you. And thank you so much for all the great work that you're doing, obviously with and outside of sort of like Flying Start. So I'll make sure that we post your details, and obviously if you can ensure that we can get the flyer for the forthcoming events, we can then share them on our pages, and obviously out to all the people that are sort of like, whether they're watching today or not, it's just something that, you know what, sometimes things may not be for you, but it might be for somebody that you know. So that's why we always say to people, please, 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 please share, because this whole of this show, what we're talking about now may not be for as in an individual, but somebody will say, why didn't you tell me? I would have loved to have gone to that. I would love to have known more information. And that's what it's all about, that communication and passing the information on.
Thanks for the opportunity. Much appreciated. I'm welcome.
No problem.
Available anytime if you want to talk about things dads related.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Do it again.
We will. Ash, thank you so much, my love. And we will link up soon. Okay. Give love to Sharon. All right, my love. Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Oh, wow. So that was Ashley. Not met Ashley before, but it's nice to know. And we do know these things, but again, we do not share the information. Okay. I can't remember, Cecile, I know you're there sort of like listening, how long the fathers event, how long has it actually been going? Hopefully Sharon or somebody's actually watching and can message. Do you remember how long it's been going, Sharon? Cecile? Sharon. You're on mute, you know that.
I do now. Which men's group are we talking about?
the Flying Start men's group that they have?
I don't remember.
It's over a year, so it's quite a while.
Sharon, are you still there? Do you know? But it's been a while. But even though it's been a little while, I don't think it's right out there for everybody.
That's the whole what I'm saying. Yeah. It's been a while, but again, it's like people do not know, and then that's why we say share. People like going, oh, why do we need to share? And then people are like, oh, I didn't realise, I didn't know, and that's why we have to talk.
Look, it's coming up 3 years. Sharon,
3 years.
3 years, yeah.
Right. Sorry, 3. That's a long while.
Yeah. So it's well established, but obviously not everybody knows. So,
and you know what? You know for a fact there's guys out there that would love to be able to communicate with other. What's the matter?
You forgot she was part of the initial stages of development.
No, but I can't remember how long. That's Sharon. I know, but I just couldn't remember how long ago it was. I can't believe it's 3 years.
Yeah. Working together on ideas. Yeah.
Oh, I remember, but I can't believe it's 3 years. So International Men's, we'll make sure we hook up with you guys at Flying Start and get you down and get some sharing done. So have I got my next guest, Cecile, in the wings?
Yes, you have.
Is Jojo still there?
Yes, I'm going to bring her on.
Oh, you're a star. Thank you so much. See, Cecile's in charge, everybody. Oh, hey, look at that one. Hey, check you out, Jo Wareham. Ooh.
I've come inside because my battery was dying, and I thought, oh gosh, not the time for batteries to be dying.
Oh, bless you. You are, you were worried about the internet. Well, all I can say is, so it is absolutely perfect, my dear. Absolutely perfecto.
Really?
So we are beaming because obviously we are online, Jo, so no swearing. But we are beaming to the masses out there because we're online. So when we're talking and we've had people and I sort of say, where are you watching from? And they say like Malawi. I'm like,
wow,
that's Africa.
Yeah.
My cousin watches in America. So you are out there, my love. Now, Cecile has just told me, Jo, that we currently have watching 999,900. So we just need, and I know you can do it, Jo, no pressure. We just need you to take us to that million marker.
Oh my God.
So I know who this lovely young lady is, and I can't even think. We're talking well over 10 years. Well over 10 years I've known Jo. And Jo, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's really important because you've never been on the show.
No, I haven't. Thank you for having me.
And you're probably saying, like, how long's the show been going? Yeah, 2018. But I was like, it's time. It's time. Now, Jo, what I want you to do, my love, the show's called ReaTalk.
Yep.
Okay, with Simply Deez, which is myself. So people going like, well, why don't you sort of like pre-record this and then beam it out, edit anything, la 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 la. And I'm like, no, life isn't like that. Life isn't like that. Really it is a case of the highs, the lows, just the whole roller coaster. It plays out. If I fall off my chair, if I whatever, this is real life, right? This is real life. So that's why I don't pre-record. I don't give people questions. It is just conversation, and hopefully we will engage the audience that are watching. Some people watch it in a week, in a month, and they're like, that lady, what does she do? Where? And it's like, that's what it's all about. So Jo, can you, I need to peel you back like a little bit of an onion, darling. Don't take it personally, but it is. So I just know that much, and I know there's that much about you, masses. So, so Jo, where are you currently now? Because you ain't in Luton, I can tell you that.
No, I'm not in Luton. I'm in my summer house. Well, it's my office actually, but it kind of converts to a lovely, fabulous living room at the weekend when the family come over, and you know, it's just a big shed in my garden basically. But it's my office come social area.
Can you say where that is?
A place called Sherrington.
Sherrington,
it's just outside Milton Keynes, little village called. Yeah, but obviously I was born in Norfolk originally, and then I went to Hitchin, did high school in Hitchin, and then got married and ended up in Luton for 34 years. Would you believe?
Wow, wowza!
I know. And then 5 years ago, I got burgled, and I was. You get burgled in Luton. It happens. It's life. Do you know what I mean? It's like one of those things. But
it can happen in lots of places.
It can. It happens even in the nicest of places, and sometimes it's worse in the nicest of places because people have lots of money and stuff. Anyway, I lived on my own, and I was burgled, and I thought, oh gosh, this is a bit scary now. I'm living on my own, and yeah, my friend found this cottage for me, and I kind of ended up here 5 years ago, and but the trouble was, I moved here 5 years ago, and then we went straight into lockdown.
Ah, yes. Oh, wow. So was that a good thing or not so good for you?
Do you know what, Dee? It was, oh God, my dad died in the March that we went into lockdown, and which absolutely horrible. But you know what? This garden here is so massive, and and obviously I didn't have any work with COVID, and I used to get up in the morning, put my flip-flops and my shorts on, and I didn't brush my hair, and I was so sad because I'd lost my dad. And just got the garden into such a fabulous state, and you know, grew carrots and beetroot and rhubarb and potato, and it became, and there was always this little blackbird sat alongside me, and I thought, that's my dad, even though I know he's not a bird, but I felt like it was the spirit, and I, you know, I could cry, and I didn't have much work, but do you know what? I feel like I needed that time of COVID just to be.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Wow. I am sorry to hear about your dad. And I do remember you posting about that. So people are like, well, what does she do? Yeah. It's Jo Wareham. What does she do? What doesn't she do? So when I met you, all them moons back, are you still doing that business?
Still doing the merchandise, yeah. Yeah, the little branding company, 13 years now.
Did you hear that, guys? In case you didn't know, the little branding company. So this is the founder, this young lady here. So you've probably seen bits and pieces and sort of like on social media. And I just love that, the little branding company. And way back, you attended some of the events and supported me. So I do appreciate. Do you know what I mean? I do appreciate that, my love. I follow you. Follow you. Amazing. So that was then. We're talking COVID was like 5 years ago now. But
I know.
But recently, I don't really hear much about that. Not saying that you don't do it. What I see is there is an actress. I saw watching you. Look at her.
I'm kind. Do you know what? When I was a little girl, right, my mum used to take me and my cousin to it was like a ballet school in the little village we lived in Norfolk, and every Saturday morning we'd get our tutus on and our ballet shoes, and we'd go and do little dances and things. And then they went on stage, and my cousin went on stage. I, however, was absolutely terrified, and I didn't go on stage. But the night we watched my cousin on stage, because there's only 6 months between the two of us in age, I was so jealous and consumed.
Oh, wow.
Like, oh, I want to be up,
that could have been me
up there. And I literally spent my entire life regretting that moment. I know, right? And I ended up I remember going to see a production in a little theatre group near here, and I happened to say to the guy, "Oh, do you know any little drama groups that aren't too picky and are nice and friendly and they're not strict or anything?" And he said, "Oh yeah, go to see Turvey Amateur Theatrical Society." And I called this lady called Jan, and she said, "Oh yeah, come on down tonight. We're rehearsing tonight." And I went down there, but she thrust a script in my hand and said, "Right, that's it. You're in the chorus." Oh, and that was 3 years ago. And now, and I only ever wanted to do singing and dancing because I'm not an actress, and the thought of acting blooming terrified me. But do you know what? They keep giving me little bits and little bits more and a bit more and a bit more. And oh my God, I ended up in a band last year and we raised like £3,000 for like charity.
Oh, I know.
It was...
I told you, I'm following you. You keep evolving, honestly. You keep evolving. And it's the case for me when I see you, it's like, do you know what? If you want something, go get it. Grab it because it's there for you.
Honestly, it's like the curtains have opened, Dee, because it's a whole new world. And oh God, even though I'm not the most confident or the best singer or the best actress, I would highly recommend anybody go and join a group, because just singing alone just is so lifting for the spirit and just makes you feel so positive. And
I love singing. Now the producer, she might come on in a moment because that's kind of what they're like. I'll see what I'm saying. It's like a genie. It's like a genie. And we even, because we both had special birthdays a few weeks ago, 60, woo, 6. And we went to an event and singing and dancing. And yeah, how's my singing, Cecile?
Joe, if I had known you were coming on to talk about singing, I would have flung you out. Because now you've given her
Joe, I love you.
He now has the permission to go and sing. What are you doing?
Oh my gosh! Thanks for that, Cecile. See what I mean? She's like a genie, isn't she?
Jeez, it's good. It's funny.
So I can't really sing, but do you know what? You know when you're sort of like, and you're belting it out, but it's that feel good, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
we just
it's
did a
that
show last
feel
week.
good.
Yeah, and I was one of the Dream Girls. You know the Dream Girls song?
Yeah, I know. I see. I see in the black and the gold. I see you. I told you I'm watching you, Joe. I'm not joking. I am watching you. I see your posts. I see all of that. Now, that lady that was just on, by the way, she's actually one of the directors of Simply Deez events, Cecile. And they are always up to shenanigans. So when I say shenanigans, people are going like, does that mean naughty? Here we go. So I'm saying it's like a genie. You rub, and ta-da!
What shenanigans? What shenanigans are you talking about?
Well, I tell you what. Ask Joe. Joe, what are we talking about when we say shenanigans?
Oh,
what have you started, Joe?
Do you know what? Oh my God!
I told you I follow you. She thinks I'm making it up.
A WI group, a Women's Institute group.
Have you?
And
I don't rant, Cecile.
I grew it from... Well, I grew the group to 107 members over 5 years, and it was, oh my God, it was so popular and so much fun. But then, it all went horribly wrong, and a few people, and I don't want to focus on a negative, but there was a few people there that were behaving like you expect children to behave in high school, you know, nasty. And do you know what? I thought I can stay and just ignore it, or I can walk away. And I felt guilty walking away, but I felt like my sparkle was going if I'd have stayed. Does that make sense?
So hang on, was this your group?
I set it up, yeah, in 2020, yeah.
And it's grown, and then there's been shenanigans.
Yeah.
And
Well,
and then you've
I resigned as president in January because there was just some horrible stuff going on, and I thought I don't need to be a part of. I don't want to be part of this anymore, and I thought I'm going to leave, and I left the WI, and I know. Oh my God, it was because I live on my own and I work on my own. So for me, it was just as good for me as it was for all those ladies that used to go. And I felt so guilty leaving, but my mental health was way more important. And I had to walk away from it. I had to walk away. I felt like everybody always says, "Oh, Jo, you're bubbly, you're this, you're that." And I just felt like I was just becoming this like little,
yeah.
It was horrible. So I left, and then I spent sort of January and February just feeling sorry for myself and thinking, oh God, what have I done? Have I done the right thing? I thought my phone had broken, because you can imagine running a group for 107 ladies. It was always pinging and pinging, and I was planning events here, there, and everywhere. And suddenly nobody was contacting me. And it was just like, oh. And then I got a pen to paper after a couple of months, and I thought, I'm going to set up another group. And I came up with the Shenanigan Society.
See, Cecile? Isn't that brilliant? I love that. Just the whole, okay, so tell the masses out there, because there are masses out there. I think, Cecile, did you say that Jo's just taken us over the million marker?
Yes, she has. And we're going to Shenanigan group. We're going to come and see you in the Shenanigans group, because we can.
Oh! well, and a few people from my old group came with me, which was lovely. I didn't approach anybody, and I didn't, contact anybody. I was very respectful, and I'm still very respectful, because that WI group is still running. It's very sad, because I've lost one of my best friends because of it. Her choice, not mine, and that's very sad. That's one thing that makes me very sad. But then I think, well, do you know what? I read this book recently, and it was called Let Them. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Cecile, do some research. Let Them.
It's all about, you can't. It's called the Let Them theory, and it's like, actually, people aren't talking to me anymore because I left that WI. But actually, let them not talk to me. That's their choice. Yeah. I can't change that. So I have to just look after me, because I'm only responsible for me and how I sort of deal with things. And but anyway, all of that's in the past. The Shenanigan Society, in 2 months, it's like I've got 118 members.
Wow.
I know.
Go on, sorry. Go on.
No, I literally, it started off as one group, and then people started saying, oh, can we have a group here? And I was like, oh yeah, maybe. So I set one up in Anderton, then I set one up in Newport Pagnell, then I set one up in Oney, because people were saying, oh, we don't like driving at night.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, let's do an afternoon group. So I set up an afternoon group. That group's slower. We've only got about 17, but that's only been going a month. But it's honestly, Dee, you couldn't wish for this. You couldn't wish for it.
Jo, sometimes we have to go through the storms for then this outcome.
Yeah,
and
it kind of feels like that.
Because if you didn't have that, you wouldn't have potentially have gone and broken off and doing something that's just so amazing. And from what sort of like I've seen, sort of like the feedback and everything that I've seen sort of like posted, is it's for some, it's just what they need. That, do you know what I mean? Time out to just maybe hear others, their stories, their journeys, and just chat, conversation, company. Is that what you wanted?
Yeah, absolutely. Just getting, because there's so many lonely people in the world, Dee, and so many people have said to me, God, so thank you so much for setting this up. You know, they're newly retired, for example, and they were worried about retiring because they thought their lives would be just so empty. And like, we've got we have our monthly meeting every month, as that's part of the membership. But then, we're going to a lavender farm, we're going to Buckingham Palace, we're going to Chatsworth House, we're going out for brunches and lunches and dinners, and we've got so much. We're having a pizza making night on Thursday. But it's good for me. I'm not just doing it for them. It's good for me as well, because obviously it's good to be around positive women, right?
Oh, 2000%, Joe. And that's the reason I was like, you're coming on the show, hook, crook, you're going, the internet's poor. I thought, I don't care. I don't care. I need to get Joe on. Joe, you really do not understand. You've got an amazing, I love your smile. Your laughter is so infectious. You must get told that all the time. All the time. And
thank you.
And the warmth that you've always shown me, and that I can see that is shown to others. You are, honestly, you're soaring. And when you soar, you've got to remember that people don't like that.
Well, I've had so many problems with them trying to sabotage these groups, and I won't go into that
already.
Oh my God, yeah, it's been, and I just, do you know what, Dee? I feel like, imagine being and living their lives that they have to try and bring me down. I think their lives must be so empty, and I feel sad for them because, all I'm trying to do is put on nice things for people, and they're contacting the village halls where I'm hiring and telling them a whole load of lies about me, and it's kind of like, gosh, leave me alone. I've walked away, just leave me alone now. And it's just terrible, really. But it's, I feel so lucky, and so, oh my God, my kids, my two boys.
There's an element of luck, Joe. There is an element of luck, but there is certainly you as a person. So don't put it all down to luck. It's you. That is what is drawing people in. It is you. Okay. Yes. And this is another thing we do not, and very much kind of, I'm just watching you and just hearing what you're saying, and struggle with those compliments and that. And it's like, it's you. Aww. So take that, darling. Take it. Don't be like, oh, yeah. It's you. So all I can say to you is, as I said, over 10 years, it's well over 10 years that I've known you. I'm going to get you back on the show. You're going like, oh, now that I know what it's about, I'm definitely coming back on. Back on the show again at another stage. But do not change, Joe Wareham. Please do not change. You are absolutely incredible.
I feel like, oh, thank you, Dee. So are you. God, look at this lovely, fantastic radio show you're putting on. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Oh, can you imagine? I love talking, and I get guests to come on and share. Whee!
It's fabulous. Oh, thank you for having me.
Excellent. No problem, darling. No problem. So what we'll do, I'll make sure sort of like underneath this, we're going to share the details about the Shenanigans Society and anything else that you're doing. Please let me know, because we can share on our pages and let people know.
Oh, no, that's brilliant. And you're always welcome to come and have a cup of tea and a slice of cake, because I do all the baking myself.
No way.
I do, because I love
24 hours in a day, but you seem to have found more.
There's never enough time, is there, in the day?
Oh, brilliant. Okay, I'm going to need to let you go now, Joe, but thank you for taking the time out, and we will see you at one of the Shenanigans Society events. Thank you, darling. Oh my gosh, that is Joe Wareham. No problem, darling. Oh my gosh. When's the book coming? That's what I meant to ask her. When's the book coming? There's got to be a book. Is it going to be a book?
The book. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's just something for you to think about. Just saying. You never thought of that, huh?
Ooh,
yes, Joe,
gosh.
it's time. You should be jotting all of this down. All of what you've said. That is the making of a good read. Trust me.
Gosh, okay. Thank you. I'll
Thank you, darling. Bye-bye. I don't know what my producer is doing. I don't know whether she meant to bring Joe back on, but I think she might have meant to
You
bring
asked
back
the question
on
and she was still there.
Put her back on. Put her back on.
Put her back on. Let me put her
Isn't
back
she
on.
incredible?
Yes. Yes. And infectious and
yes,
all of that. And I mean, one of my friends lives up near there. She lived in Olney for a long time and she lives nearby and blah, blah, blah. So in my head, that's just a drive. That's just a drive up there. We can do that. It's not the other side of the world. It just sounds absolutely fantastic. It really does.
But I didn't know, obviously, what Joe shared about sort of like being part of the dog and sort of obviously what's happened there and now setting up a new. I didn't know any of that at all.
No.
I'm glad that she shared that because it's important. And with all the different things that we do, as in sort of like how when you are doing something and you're doing well, it's like some people ain't going to like it.
Yeah,
some people ain't going to like it.
And
good.
And I think those WIs sometimes can be a little bit clicky and what have you. And I can imagine this one's been brought into the 21st century as opposed to being,
Oh, with Joe, yeah, definitely. And that's why that will just continue. Do you know what I mean? Continue to grow. She's amazing. Absolutely amazing. And from one amazing woman onto another.
Who?
Is that Daniela in the house?
No.
Is she not?
No.
She messaged. I saw a message sort of saying like, Dee, I'm here. I'm on Dee.
She's in the other one. Is she in the other one?
Oh, God blimey, yes, because I'm not giving her sugar. Okay, so Cecile, do me a favour. And if you could just talk, I need to now just send the link to the other people.
Oh my goodness me. Okay, so
now's your chance to tell them what you didn't tell them at this lunchtime about what we're going to be doing.
So whilst Dee is messaging all the people that are coming on, because we've been let loose with the show and the internet and everything, and that is why we're here, we're not here, we started late, etc., etc. But we, in conjunction with a lovely lady called Anita Powell from Bedford, who manages and has put together the Menopause Alliance over there, we are going to be putting together and it's not an event because this is going to be every other month. So it's for women, and we are going to be getting some women together and talking about health. So it might be about menopause. It might be about if you've got any health concerns. We are just going to be covering many different things. It's going to be at the Irish Forum. And I am just looking for the date. So the first one is going to be on the 28th of July. 6:30 till I don't know when. Because I think it's 2 hours, but it might be an hour. I apologize. And it's going to be about embracing our health and if you've got ideas of what can help somebody, or you need some help yourself, come along. It's not going to be a big, massive group, and we will have some speakers every now and then. So we're hoping to have one for the first one. But I just think it's going to be that safe space for you to talk about what's going on for you, and maybe then get some ideas. If you're struggling with something, you might then be able to get some ideas from somebody else. So it's going to be good. It's going to be really good. So 28th of July, and it starts at 6:30, and it's at the Irish Forum. So anybody that knows Simply Deez events knows the Irish Forum, because we've done some there. We had the soirees there. We've had International Men's Day, International Women's Day there. So there's been quite a few different things there. But we'll be putting out some flyers over the next few weeks. And yeah, come along. And just kind of get involved. I think it's just going to be really good. It's going to be a really good space for women. Yes. What else? We've got our community Zoom next Thursday, and that has been going for 5 years. Can you believe that? 5 years. Started that week or two after the first lockdown. Dee wanted to do her usual thing, but obviously we couldn't meet up, so it went online, and it's been going online ever since. So that is next Thursday, 7 till 9. Are you coming on?
Yo.
I've told them about the 28th. What time is the 28th?
The 28th, 6:30.
6:30 till
6:30 to 8:30.
To 8:30.
6:30. It's just 2 hours.
Diary.
Yeah, it's just 2 hours.
I've
So
told
much.
them about
that. So you're wondering where we have got guests, but due to technical issues, i.e. as in people getting the wrong links, I've had to do it all today and yesterday. So Daniela's going, I'm here, and I'm like, So let me know when she appears. We've got Daniela, we've got Lyndon, we've got Ian, we've got Sandra. Still to go.
Okay, and I
tonight.
just need to tell Tishy, because Tishy sent a message saying it says the Simply Together Show. Yes, it does say the Simply Together Show, because we don't know how to change that at this moment in time. So we've just gone with it.
We're so glad to be actually live on air that we don't really care, Tishy. If you knew. So whilst we wait for somebody to show up in the chat room. Who? Daniela?
Yes.
Fabulous.
The lovely Daniela. And I'm so pleased I'm here as well. So I'm going to take myself off and add her on.
Oh, bless you. Daniela. It's not you, it's me.
Hello, nice to
So technology, you've got. Is that you with long hair? What's going on?
I know it's grown, isn't it?
What? Oh my gosh. So for those people that are watching and thinking, we kind of know her.
From somewhere.
You kind of, this lady, we go back. We do. I even know what to say. I've had the pleasure of hosting a book launch. Not this one, but a book launch. So many books. So I'm going to stop talking for a bit, because we need to hear from the lady in the house, Daniela Swampa. Is that right?
Oh my God, you actually said it?
I still got it, girlfriend. I still got it.
You have got it going.
So Daniela, oh my gosh. So there's masses out there, some who will know you, some who won't. And as you know, because we are online, that makes us global. It is going out literally to the masses.
Amazing. Popular D.
No. Popular, my guess. So for us to kind of, when I say us, I always have to include myself, because it doesn't matter who I bring on. It doesn't matter how long I've known them. There's always things that get said. And I'm like, wow, either I didn't know that, or I'm hearing something. You know, when you've heard something before, but you hear it with different ears sometimes, because you're in a different place.
Absolutely.
So I need to get you to give us a bit of foundation. And when I say foundation, because the books that you've written, and obviously what's coming up now, the new book, Retreat, this, that, and the other, everyone's going like, yeah, some woman, she's doing all these great things.
Who is she?
Who is she? And actually, for me to attend, or for me to purchase a book, knowing some of that background, it's like, right, this isn't somebody who's read a few books and now is kind of like starting to publish her own or starting to do her own. This is somebody who has lived
Yes.
certain
An avalanche
things.
of situations.
And yeah, and with that, then what you've learned and how you've helped, and the amount of people that I know now that are saying how much you have helped them. And sometimes, do you know what? You're kind of just doing what you do. And so many people out there, Jo, who was just on, is just doing what she does and just thinks she's just running some events and people like them. That's nice. But do not understand the true impact that you are having on people's lives, because you are changing lives. You must know that. You are changing lives.
To make a difference, and that's always my aim and my intention underneath anything I do. Absolutely anything, whether I write a book, when I do my counseling sessions, when I go and give talks, the only intention underneath it is to enrich people's lives. I'm certainly not doing it for the money.
I know that.
It's because it really, really matters to me, because I know what it's like to be in a place where everything is dark, and that little ray of sunshine, a message, a word, just somebody to hold space makes all the difference. And that's what I always aim to give to people.
Which is... Woo! I didn't think I feel like this. I haven't seen you for a while, like literally seen you for a while. And I know we're only kind of that, but I still just feel that. Yeah. You, how can, Cecile, so humble.
Thank you.
So humble. How can I get you to... Okay, what was your first book?
My first book was my life story, A Reason to Love Me. So basically, it goes through my whole life, because throughout my life, I always look for a reason to love myself, because I certainly wasn't. I was not loving myself. I had a lot of, like a lot of other people, challenges throughout my life, from abandonment, rejection, eating disorders, domestic violence, self-abuse as well, and also a severe attack in London that almost ended my life. So yeah, it talks about all of that and the journey throughout my experiences and how I overcame, and hopefully to bring hope to people that no matter what comes your way, there is always a way, always. And life will knock you down, Again and again, like I said in my first book, you know, no doubt life will knock me down again, but I know I can get up. I might suffer, I might struggle, because we have to peel the onion and go deeper in our lessons. But my God, I'm getting there, and I'm going to overcome. Being Italian and a bit stubborn does help. But
did you see the message on the screen from Tishi?
Hello, Daniela. Oh my God, thank you, Tishi. You know, oh, it's so lovely. I'm so tired.
Sometimes we don't know. For me, whenever we meet people in whatever shape or form that might be, we are always leaving some sort of footprint, not physical footprint, but footprint on, in terms of that contact. And hopefully it's a good one.
Yes.
Hopefully it's a good one, but sometimes it's not so good. So whatever kind of we have with people, we're always leaving something.
Yes. Teacher and student at the same time. Even when we leave an imprint that might not be so good.
Yes.
Is also to teach the person. You know, as I said, throughout my life, I've been going through a lot of hardship, you know, the attack, to name one. And it takes you a while to actually get over that and then go on to the lesson. Because even the hard lessons, in fact, the hardest lesson is the one that teaches the most out of them all. Because we pay more attention. It really gets us to the flow. And that's where we are going to pick up the gems, if we so choose.
Are you guys listening to this young lady?
Sorry?
I'm saying to the audience out there, are they listening to this? That's why we say share. It's still time to share. And obviously share with your friends, your family, just everybody, because there are all through the show, there are nuggets. And what Daniela is talking about now, I don't care who you are or where you think you're at. There are lessons upon lessons and something for us to take from what she is saying.
From the good experiences that we deem good experiences, and from the experiences that we deem bad experiences. Because if we're going deeper now, in life there isn't really no good or bad. It's our interpretation that makes it so. Everything is a lesson. It is an opportunity for us to grow, even when it stings.
Do you hear that? Everything is an opportunity for us to grow. Oh my gosh, nuggets upon nuggets upon nuggets. Oh, wowza. Okay, so this is guys, you got to remember, this is short, right? This is a short space of time that you get access to this young lady at this precise moment in time. So book number 2, drop that one. What was book number 2 and what was that about?
Book number 2 is A Reason to Love Them, Breaking the Chains of Trauma. Again, based on, a lot of it is based on the experiences from my life, my first book. But with that one, we go into the perspectives. So basically taking responsibility for the part that we play. Even though things happen to us, how we respond or react, that's on us now. Because this is our lives. And we got control over our lives, right? So our lives is our responsibility. So although we might not be responsible for what happens to us, we're responsible for what we do with it. So it's a little bit of a direct book, as is my last one as well. It goes very much to the point in order to address different perspectives, again, over a variety of topics, right? Again, abandonment, rejections, and all of those things. A reason to love them being the perpetrators. And sometimes we are the perpetrators toward ourselves as well, because we abandon ourselves. We belittle ourselves. We don't talk to ourselves nice, right? So sometimes we ourselves are the perpetrators. And actually, even in that book, A Reason to Love Them, under the word them, there's also a chapter about the attacker, which that caused a little bit of a brawl, because again, how can you put the word love with somebody like him? But in reality, we step into forgiveness, about freeing ourselves, about learning those lessons that we're here to learn, and everything, and the acceptance that everything is of service to us, and everybody is of service to us. Acceptance does not mean putting up, but it means, okay, it's happened. What do I do with it? How am I going to look at it in a way that serves me?
Gold, pure gold, guys, pure gold. So I know you've done some poetry books also as well.
Yeah, well, it's I've done Pebbles of Inspiration, which is a collection of poems, quotes, observation, to bring positivity into our everyday life, which is almost, we say almost 400 quotes on that book. So it's
how many?
Inspiration, reflection, suggestions.
How many quotes did you say?
Almost 400 on that one. So you see,
Amazing.
for over a year long.
Yeah, and the rest. Oh my gosh. She's been busy.
You've been busy. And then
she's been busy. So this young lady here, in case you didn't know, life in a lockdown. Behind closed doors. She got a chapter in that book too. She squeezed her little self in there.
I did. I had to. I was invited and I was honored, so I had to. Right?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So I don't know. Ain't no little birdie, because even though I might not see you, I still follow and I know what you're up to. So did I not read that another book dropped like a few weeks ago?
There is. It's called At the Heart of the Matter.
At the Heart of the Matter.
And they're all passages, one per page, one subject per page, so people don't have to go into long stories or whatever, because it seems people don't like reading very much these days. So I said, okay, let's go to the heart of the matter. Let's remove all the fluff. So it's a no fluff book, right? Let's
Real talk. Keep it going, girl.
So it's a no fluff book. It presents the heart of the message, leading the reader to reflect and draw their own message from it.
Wow.
So it's a collection of concise, heartfelt insights. They are designed to inspire. It's an invitation to look within and to find the courage to meet our own challenges. Again, it's another very direct book. So, you know, I don't mince my words.
See, well, when she says mince her words, you've got to remember, if you notice, just like myself, there's a little bit of a twang that this lady's got. What twang is that?
Well, I am now British. At the end of this month, I will be 1 year old British. Oh my God, that was a dream come true. But I am originally from Italy. I've been here, 37 years now?
You wouldn't believe it. 37 years and
still the accent is there. And the expression, see?
Amazing. Oh my gosh. I'm coming to Bedford. Let's get the date. Let's get the date in the diary. I'm tired of this.
Awesome.
I'm tired of this.
Awesome.
Yes. So hang on a minute. Hang on. You know, there's always a gate crasher.
Hello.
Hello, gorgeous lady.
Likewise.
I'm coming to Bedford as well. I'm coming to Bedford because I need to come and get the book. I'm coming up. I'll bring
yeah, we want it signed. Don't think we're just coming to get the book and like clearing off. We're gonna.
Well, Daniela and I have a long-standing date to go and get some cocktails, which we still haven't done. So you'll have to come with us, Dee.
Yes.
Well, I think she offered me coffee. Oh, you got cocktails. I got coffee. It begins with a C, but not quite the same, right?
Well, I was Cecile drunk. I didn't know.
Did you say Cecile drunk? Yeah, I've seen it before. Not a pretty sight, I tell you.
You have not. I just want to say quickly, because I know you're going to go on to what else that Daniela's doing as I've gate crashed. I met Daniela November 2019, International Men's Day. Or was it International Women's? No, it's International Men's.
Women.
Are you sure?
Oh, no, I'm not actually now. Why not the two? It wasn't.
Don't ask Daniela. That memory ain't that.
I've got. Anyway, I spoke. My daughter also spoke, and you then spoke to both of us afterwards, and it was just, I don't know. You kind of just give us that. You gave us. You told us that we could do this. All right. Now I remember you and your paper shaking in your hand, but you could also do it. You also did it. And I just think you just give that inspiration to people. You just give it to them, whether you know that you're doing that, but you do it.
That's what I said, not knowing your gift.
Yeah.
Your gift is far more than, and reaches far more than you ever know, Daniela. Seriously.
So much more. So much more. So much more. Anyway, I'm going to leave you, Dee, to carry on because we've got 2 guests in the wings. Okay.
Are they 2 males by chance?
No.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Look at her. She's like going like, oh my God. I'm like, yeah, you don't know. You don't know. Before you disappear, young lady.
Yes.
Something's happening in September that you haven't mentioned.
No, that's right. I'm having a retreat. I'm doing a retreat in September. It's at, it's close to Blackpool, the beautiful beach on Lytham St. Anne's. And it's a 2 days retreat. And it's basically for anyone that needs returning to self. It's going to be intimate, transformative, and it's basically all this space for like-minded souls. So if anybody's been feeling the nudge to reset, to rise, reclaim their light, or if they are in a season of change, healing, or expansion, this weekend is for them, because we will be going deeper into a lot of subjects. There's also going to be a collective time for discussion, open forum. So each in the afternoon, there will be an hour allocated to that for open forum, so they can ask anything they want, or just not even speak if they want to put it into a hat to say that's the subject. But it will be covering so many subjects to basically come back to power. It's like this book that I've written, right? It's just when you've been cracked by life, you know, time and time again, it's coming back into the healing. It's coming back into that power. It's like, you know, it's called elevate yourself. We got to come back to the elevation of ourselves, because that's what we are, and that's where we belong.
Oh, you know, you'll be back on. You'll be back on. We will be sharing that information about the retreat. So I know in my head already. So that is the 20th and 21st of September. Am I right?
It is indeed, yes.
See?
Yes.
So that's a Saturday and a Sunday. Sorry, go on.
Saturday and Sunday. And my website, if you need it, let me know and I will send it. But again, it's on my post on social media anyway. But if you want, I can send it over anytime. So,
yeah, and we'll be posting that and we can share that out to people. What sort of numbers are you looking at for this?
I can go up to 80.
80?
80. So
wow.
The big room is in a beautiful hotel. The hotel will be giving a 10% off for those people that stay over as well. Lunch is included. And also creative. Obviously, you will be getting a free book.
Oh!
Yeah. Whoever comes.
Worth going, guys. Free book.
Yeah, a free book, a free pen, and a bookmark, which I have created with beautiful messages on it.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, there will be like this kind of little gifts, as well as free snacks and free lunch, and a lot of info.
Lots of information. Oh my gosh. Daniela will be back on, guys. So in case you kind of like, there's questions you want to ask her, you know how to get in touch. We will be sending that information out. If you want to get in touch and don't know how to, message us and we will make sure we do that connection with Daniela. The retreat is on the Saturday, the 20th and 21st of September this year.
In England.
Right. Okay.
By
So,
the sea.
oh, bless you. Okay. Daniela, I even know what to say. There were so many comments. And as I sort of said, you don't know. You're just, in your mind, I'm just Daniela. I just do a little, but you're doing so much more. Not everybody, you must know this, not everybody will tell you. So there might be people watching you, following you, and you don't even know because they may never comment, may never say something, but you are making a difference in their lives.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Don't thank me.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on here.
Anytime. And you know what? This young lady has learned so much over lockdown. Technology didn't used to be a thing, but she's on it now, on it like a Scotch bonnet. So
honestly, let me tell you, I don't know, my name is a thought. On the bank holiday Monday, I shouted so loud because I was able to actually add the book to the website, and I never
no way
something like that. And the page for the retreat with a button to buy. I shouted so loud, I am unstoppable. The windows were open.
You are. Oh, you are. You certainly are, Daniela. But no, certainly going to get you back on before the retreat, and we'll get an update and see where you're at. And obviously, if there's anything else that we can do to help, please, please, please let us know. But we're coming to see you in Bedford.
I look forward to that, and I'm holding you to that.
Oh, don't you worry. We'll be coming. All right, darling. Thank you so much.
I don't know how to get out of here. Press leave.
Don't you worry. Cecile will take care of it.
Okay.
You don't do nothing. Cecile will just eject you out.
Bye, girls.
Bye-bye, darling. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Right, so we've got two people in the wings. So we've got a gentleman called Hubbard.
Ian, yep.
Okay. He's been there the longest, so I'm bringing him on
And
next.
who else you got?
The lovely Sandra Moore.
Sandra Moore is just there. Not as in just there, but she knows she's not on quite yet. Yeah. Yeah, she's not. Yeah. Yeah.
Right,
we ain't ready for
Ian.
I don't know if you know this man. Do you know this man?
I don't think so.
Oh,
was he the next office when we had our book launch? Yes.
Well, the book
yes.
See, you're famous, Ian. Oh, wow. Mr. Hubbard. I can't believe it.
Yes, it's been a while.
Oh, it certainly has. Thank you so much for coming on tonight. Because I know you're a busy man.
I was actually quite nervous about it, isn't it? I think you asked me to come on like a year ago or something. I said, "Oh,
yeah, I think it's longer than a year, to be honest, Ian.
Right.
I think it's several times, and you're kind of like, I don't know, Dee, I need to this, I need to that,
Yeah.
And this is what kind of, if I'm sure, interrupt me when you want to, Ian. As I said, this is just kind of, it's just talk. We're just chatting. We're going to go into sort of like how I know Ian, but Ian was kind of like, I don't know, Dee, I'm not sure. And I need to this and I need to that. And for me, part of what I do, what we do is as in like, just do it.
Right. Well, you know
just
what?
do it.
I did a lot of like, I think for you talk about lockdown and that kind of stuff, but I think like after lockdown was interesting for me because everybody started returning back to work and that kind of stuff, but I kept on working from home. So my job was good in terms of like I could do the school runs, that kind of stuff, working from home, but I didn't have that return to the office that everybody else had. And so, you know, when you're saying, oh, you know, come on the show, and I was like, I'm not ready. So I did it because I invested in a life coach. So I actually got like a life coach to like say, right, what's going on in my life? what can I improve? Like, where am I? And
Right, I'm going to stop you.
Yeah.
Reason being is because like you're telling me something, I'm going like, okay. So I need to, which isn't wrong. So don't get me wrong. It's absolutely fine. But what I'm going to do, because you've not been on the show, do you know what? I was hosting a show, I'm talking about in probably 2016. And we had a short conversation yesterday. Honestly, the show was in 2016 and I was told I could have whoever I wanted, do you know what I mean? And I was like, at that time I knew Ian and I'm like, I want Ian on the show, and Ian's going like, yeah, okay. And yeah, you just kind of, you was playing the, anyway, the guys out there, the masses out there, Ian, have got no idea who you are. They're like, some people do, some people don't. And so it's important before we kind of get into certain things, I want to kind of lay a little bit of a foundation. So it's a case of like, you know, a bit of background about you, because there's stuff that I don't even know. So I don't even know sort of like where you were born. I don't know. Where were you born?
Well, I was born in London. My parents are Caribbean. My dad's from Montserrat and my mom's from Trinidad.
Way!
Yeah.
Oh my God, my parents are from Montserrat, Ian.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's probably why we had
Oh my God. Unbelievable. Honestly, my mum and dad were born in Montserrat. Have you been?
All right. Well, then we need to talk then about the what's the surnames?
Weeks. My mum's surname is Weeks.
Oh my gosh, there's so many Weeks. Isn't there?
People need to understand. Look, me and Ian have a private conversation. There's just people listening. Don't worry, Ian. You got to remember the island's small, right? It's small. And my dad's surname's Allen.
Okay. Well, yeah. Alan.
So you watch. I bet it turns out we're related.
Pastor Weeks from North London, and he's in North London, but he's Montserratian, but he's a pastor, and I don't know if you know him, but we used to go to his church. He's a Montserratian guy, Pastor Weeks.
Cecilia, you believe in this? Me and Ian are probably related. I'm telling you.
Oh, no.
Ian, let me tell you, right? We've all, there's 3 of us that have just turned 60 in the last couple of months.
I was telling him that yesterday.
He was last month, mine was last month before. Anyway, we went to a reggae lunch event a couple of weeks
Lovers
ago,
Rock
and
Sunday roast.
Lovers Rock. And you know what it's like. So the DJ, where are you coming from? Yeah, you're coming from Jamaica. Yeah, coming from St. Lucia. Yeah. Montserrat, she's the only one in the room, and she shouted louder than
everybody else.
Loud. And the DJ,
they don't even big up Montserrat. They don't even supposed to big up Montserrat normally.
She so when you just said that just now, I'm already jumping about at home in my chair.
The compare must have known to get that D.
He didn't.
He didn't. Honestly,
I've never been to a place. They always say Jamaica. And then they say
no, he didn't, because we never gave any information to them other than it was her birthday. So he literally, I think maybe over time he's managed to get a list.
And he knows you've got to do the small islands. That's why.
Right. Well, you know, there's a big Montserrat event coming up. I think was it the 19th of July? I don't actually know the details. It's a park somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah. So do you know about it?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I don't believe this.
Sorry? I'm going to be going to that. My dad has said I have to take him because he's 81. And
is it?
Montserrat events. And I'm like, okay, Dad, I'll take you.
What's the surname?
Hubbard.
Okay.
But, you want his my grandsurname, his mum's surname, Ogaro.
Oh my gosh, that's a popular name.
Yeah, there you go. That's it.
Oh God, we're going to talk afterwards. So for those of masses out there that are watching and thinking like, what's going on? Are they having a private conversation? Yeah, we are. It's my show. I can do what I want. I've met a fellow Montserratian, so I'm like,
well, this time you didn't know us from Montserrat.
I know. Yeah. I don't believe it.
I haven't been because I was a young boy, and then my dad found all these tapes of the volcanoes. And we used to watch hours and hours. There's a guy who used to take his camera up to the hills
Yes.
and to the volcanoes, and you see the smoke, and I'm like, I'm never going there.
Ian, we're going to talk. We need to talk.
Because I'm like, the one time I know the one time I step foot in Montserrat, the volcano is going to go, all right, he's here now, and fully erupt.
Oh, Ian, stop being. What was going to say? Do you know the population? Because I think I even said on that night, Cecile or thingy, I said the population is probably at something like, it's under 4,500 people. You know that?
Well, yeah, because of after when was that volcano, in the 90s?
It's about 25, 26 years ago, something like that.
Yeah.
And even then, when I went in the 80s, there was, I think at its peak, you know, you're looking at maybe 30,000. It ain't a lot.
Small islands.
It wasn't a lot.
This will be a small island.
I don't know about that small island people. Yes, it might be small, but we are lovely. That's why we get on so well, Mr. Hubbard.
Yeah, yeah.
See, that is, I can't believe it. Yeah. So your parents are from Montserrat.
From Trinidad, so that counteracts a little bit.
No, it does not. No, it does not. So, okay. So, did you go to school in London? Did you go to school further down? Okay.
North London. I went to school in Tottenham. It's called Langham, now part of the academy. Then I went to school in Crouch End, which is, I don't know what it's called now, but it used to be called Highgate Wood School. I think it's Highgate Wood Art School or something like that. So yeah, North London, Wood Green, Tottenham, those are my areas.
Oh, that's where my husband's.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's from sort of like Tottenham. Yeah, all of that sort of stuff.
You know, it's
Ian,
so funny,
how was school?
Oh, right. How was school?
Yeah. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah.
You did?
You're going in depth now. Was I a good boy at school? Yes.
No, not was you a good boy. I'm just asking, did you enjoy it? Some people kind of like, the show's called ReaTalk. It's like, no, I hated it, but this is where they are now. Whereas some kind of like, so it's just kind of just working out those dynamics. That's all.
I kind of, sometimes I wonder, like, how much of the life decisions you make as an adult are your decisions, or how much was ingrained in you from when you were young. So when I was at school, I was always the guy carrying an instrument, right? Because I used to carry the clarinet and then the saxophone, and for a bit of time,
oh, really?
Yeah. So I was, and in primary school, I used to have the recorder. So like I was always like, throughout the whole of my time in school, it was always a couple of days a week I'd have an instrument, and I'd always be focusing on the term performances and that kind of stuff. That's why Highgate Wood School was really good, because they always had a really big school music concert where everybody from the jazz band and the orchestra and the choir and the actors and all would all come out and do a big concert at the end of every, I think, I'm not sure if it's every term, but like it seemed quite regular.
So how did you get into sort of like, is it just a case of, I don't know, was it family members, siblings?
Yeah.
How did you get into sort of like?
So yeah, I've got two older brothers. They were 8 and 9 years older than me, and they both had musical instruments. My dad, as I said, from Montserrat, couldn't play at all, but he always loved music. So he made sure that his kids did it. And so those two, they were forced. Like my middle brother, he got to grade 8 on the clarinet, and I think from the very day that he got his grade 8, he stopped playing and never played again. Because like,
really,
yeah, because he was so forced to do it. But like, I was so much younger than them. I was like 8 years younger, so I saw the instruments around and picked them up and used to play them and that kind of stuff. And so when it was time for me to do, there wasn't as much pressure, so it was always a fun thing to play an instrument. I try and do the same thing in my house now. We've got drums, we've got flutes, we've got all kinds of wind chimes and stuff. And I'm like, always putting them in front of the kids. So just make some noise, just play for the fun of it. Because I think like we've got into this society, like music is a product, but like music really should be the whole family comes together. Someone who can sing, someone who can.
I can sing. Did you know that?
Oh, right. Okay.
Oh, here we go. The producer might come on. Or she might mute me. Oh, God. It's like a genie.
You recorded for her, yeah.
So, Ian, just letting you know, this young lady here is producing today. Cecile, and she's actually a director at Simply Deez. So she does hold just a tiny little bit of weight, so to speak.
Yes. So can
so she's somebody.
No, no, she can't. No, she can't.
Oh,
she
shut up.
No, I'm being honest.
Oh, Ian, there's always somebody that throws shade.
Nowadays they got auto-tune, they got Melodyne. You can just fix the
right. So again, at that event a couple of weeks ago, Janet Kay, obviously, get that high note. Right. There is about 5 of them around me, and I'm and it is like cats. It's
that's what the song is for, though, isn't it?
Exactly. Tell her, Ian. Tell her. Isn't it?
I've loved that Janet, but like I think every time she comes to perform, people are waiting for that one moment so they could go,
yeah, exactly.
They are all waiting for that one moment, and that's when I just go, oh my Lord, what are they doing? Anyway, she can sing. She can sing. Can she hold a note? That's something different. But she'll sing with you. So you play, she'll sing.
My wife and I, we did a karaoke the other day, and like it was just the 2 of us, because normally the karaoke you have to have a minimum 3 people, whatever. But it was a date night, and we were like, look, it's just date night. Let's sing just the 2 of us.
I know, Cecile, date nights.
I didn't realize how difficult it is to sing on the microphone with the and the music's loud. And you're like, I'm like, because I'm a musician, because the saxophone helps me stay in tune. So then to actually use my voice, I was like, I actually had a new respect for singers.
Yeah, that's right. You respect me, Mr. Hubbard.
Yeah, well, I respect singers.
Some stats in the chat. I'm going to put some stats in the chat for you. Okay, you carry on.
Yeah, but singers who sing out of tune, like it's more difficult to sing in tune than I thought. Actually. So I get it now. I get it. I had a saxophone that could help me be in tune the whole time. So it was
So you've grown up.
Oh, population of Montserrat and population of Luton is way more. It's definitely smaller people. Yeah.
Oh, do you know what? I'm going to sack this producer. It's the first and last time, I tell you. Oh, wow. That's what I'm talking about. So, music.
All right, you were asking.
So you left school?
Yeah. So yeah, I used to pick up my brother's instruments and play them, and then I went to college and I did jazz band in college.
That's what you went to college for?
No. Well, that's the thing. I did maths, physics, music. Like I couldn't. Give up.
Okay.
It's a recurring theme in my life. I want a job, but I'm still gonna do the music on the side. So I did maths, physics, music, and then I went to university and I did a mechanical engineering degree, and I still had the music on the side. Like there's always I was like in jazz bands and that kind of stuff. Did a lot of music related stuff until I think in my second year at uni we got burgled and they stole my saxophone.
What?
That was a big moment. Like second year university, they stole my saxophone. That was devastating, and I was just like knuckle down and just got through my degree until in the 4th year at university. Pastor from Manchester. Pastor gave me he passed on now. But yeah, I'm still in touch with his sons. But he gave me a saxophone in my 4th year of university, and I started playing the saxophone in church in my last year of university, and that's how I started to really get back into the music. So it was always like So I did a good stint of church-related music and played with Mark Baptiste and a lot of church-related stuff. And I played with a R&B group called Sinai, and they did some tours and stuff. So are you moving or have you frozen? I think it looks like you're frozen. So I'm gonna keep talking. I don't know if you can hear me. So oh, what happened? Can't hear anything.
I'm on mute. We can
right.
hear you. We can
All
hear
right.
you.
The
I
D
don't
is
know.
frozen.
Dee's back. Dee's back.
Okay.
I think. Are you back,
Yeah.
Dee? Yes, she is.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ian.
Chronologically in
How
my
much we
life, I've
talking
not really
sex?
talked about this. Yeah. So, where did I get to? So yeah, after university, I started playing with churches, and then I went on tour with a group called Cyanide, a gospel trio. That was real fun, and yeah, and I just always kept playing the saxophone, and then yeah.
So what are you doing in between, Ian, work-wise? What are you doing for work? Huh?
Yeah, I'm kind of a data analyst. So I do.
Oh, do you know what? I had you down for an accountant or something like that. I don't know
something
why.
boring.
I don't know why.
Something boring, isn't it? No, yeah, I do data, so I do spreadsheets and Power BI and
I bet you love it, didn't you?
do you know what? I did get a real buzz. Like I did a formula that fixed a bit of code, and it made and I was able to do a filter based on the code that I did. And I was like, wow. So I had no, because I've been working from home so long. I was just like, no one to celebrate except myself. I did this code and it works. That was me today. So yeah, so I like a bit of that. So that's my main job, and that's always been what I've been doing. Just always had a main job, and always doing music on the side. And yeah, and I got a life coach, and it was like, let's take this to the next level.
Why? I mean, I don't know. You know, different people do different things. Why would you kind of like, I want a life coach? Is that because the direction you were going, you wanted to elevate, or you weren't going the direction you wanted to go in?
Yeah, I think, you know, there's a lot of talk about men and their mental well-being.
Mm-hmm.
And I was struggling like at work, and I was struggling in my family life. And I went to see a counselor, and that just wasn't for me. Like the counseling wasn't what I needed, and it wasn't working.
Was that one-on-one counselling?
Yeah, I think
or
it was. It was through my work scheme. Like they had counseling for people who were suffering from stress at work. And I went to a counselor, and like I think he was late. He was late, but the counseling session was in his own house.
Okay.
And then the second time I turned up, he said, "Oh, you got the wrong day," and I hadn't got the wrong day. And I'm like, I'm struggling with motivation and organization, and I need to you know, get myself out of a rut and do better. But like, you sent me a counselor who doesn't even know what day
it is.
So I went to, I thought, okay, maybe it was the counselor. So I went to another counselor who was a lot better, a lot more organized, a lot more disciplined. He was good, but still, it wasn't like, I felt like that counselor could have helped me, but he wasn't, because it was counseling. So they don't give you recommendations. They ask you to explore what you think the answers are.
So can I ask you?
Yeah.
So with this, you can, let's move on, Dee. Because remember, the show's ReaTalk. There's nothing scripted. So for those people out there thinking like, I know what Ian's saying, I don't know any of what Ian's talking about now, because all I know is, and Ian knows that. So if I'm going somewhere you don't want to go, you just sort of say, let's keep it moving, Dee. So as a relatively young man, you're young still, right? 44?
Yeah, 44, yeah.
Was I allowed to say that? Oops, sorry. Hey, I've been saying that means Cecile, that producer woman, she's older than me, as you can tell. 60. She'll come on in a minute. So in all seriousness, because this is obviously, you know, it's online, it's beamed out there. Some people honest to God, may not watch it till the weekend. Some people watch it in a couple of months, and then they start commenting because they've only had a chance to watch it. Now, I'm listening to you, bearing in mind I kind of know you, and already there's things that you're saying that I'm like, didn't know that. And the fact that I'm taken on board, because we do international men's, as in Simply Deez events, we've I don't know, I think we're on our 10th year this year. And for you as you are young man to then seek or feel that they needed counselling, were you did you recognise that yourself, or did somebody else recognise it for you to then go? If you don't mind me asking.
I knew that I was struggling, and I knew that my friends and my family, as much as I love them, they weren't in a position to give me the right advice.
Right.
So I needed, I love my mum and my dad, but they just didn't. The conversations I had with them weren't productive enough to get to the next level. I think, it's hard at that point in time. I didn't feel like I was doing so bad, so it wasn't like I felt like was feeling distraught or whatever. I just knew like I was living a bit average, and maybe a little bit below average. That's how I felt about it. And I was like, okay, I need to do more. I need to connect with my motivation a bit more. I need to be more productive and connect with contributing to the world a bit more, contributing to myself and my family a bit more as well. And this is I felt like things were starting to get tough. They were starting to get harder and harder. And I'm like, okay, there's got to be a solution to this. So they had, I was like, I don't want to go off work for stress or whatever. So they had a counseling offer, and then I went there, and I was like, this isn't what I needed. It wasn't counseling that I needed. I needed life coaching. And there's a lot to talk about in terms of that, because I'm seeing a lot of coaching come up online. Yeah. I don't know if you see the same things I do, maybe because I searched it, but I see a lot of even my good friends are doing it. They're coaching you to become better, and they're selling courses for you to improve your business, improve your life, and that kind of stuff. So there is an expand in that kind of era, because I think a lot of people are looking at their life and start going, right, okay, there needs to be more. I need to get more, but the networks I have and the friendships that I have aren't facilitating that. So I need to network outside of my comfort zone to bring more positivity into my life. So
wow. Do you know what? All night I sort of said about the producer, but I actually want her to come on now. Producer Cecile, I don't know if she's paying attention. She is actually a counsellor. Isn't it fat?
Am I paying attention?
I don't know. You might have been doing stuff.
If you're a counsellor, how do you feel about life coaches in comparison to counsellors?
They're fine, and they both of them have their place. And what you're saying about what you needed a life coach, because you were going to be looking at different things to what a counsellor would be looking at.
Yeah.
Which is what you then found. When you were saying about the first guy, I'm hoping you didn't go for number 3 for the third session.
No. I went to 2 sessions.
That first session,
bad, isn't it?
You don't go back for third with anybody. If anybody does that, but a counsellor that's working in their own house, how are they late, and how is it they don't know what day you're coming? And that's when you don't go again. Yeah, because that one is just a no. But
I went twice, and then I was like, I need a better coach, because I was actually like trying to get myself out of a rut. I was like some kind of I don't know if it was depression, but it's like an undiagnosed depression. I was like, I need to get myself out of this, and having a counselor like that was not going to work. So the next counselor was better, because he was a lot more. He had a nice office, and you could tell that he was like, we wore suits and he was in shape, and he was like really smart and that kind of stuff. But it still wasn't what I needed, because he was like, "What do you think the solution is? And I'm like, I don't know. I need some, some a bit more guidance. So that's where I went to Lynn Scott, and it was different, because as a coach, she tested me She said, try this, try that. And I think it's more risky, isn't it? Because with a counselor, they're just trying to be safe. But with a life coach, they actually challenge you to achieve things and say, well, come back to me next time and then tell me how that went.
I think the thing is that, I mean, I've been a counsellor for years, and I do the things that a life coach might also do. Because actually, if I'm working with somebody and I've been working for them for a long time, then we've gone past the, well, what do you think you should do? You know, and the tilt of the head. We've gone past that now. We're working much deeper. So I might say, well, maybe you need to try this, or maybe you need to try that. But ultimately, a life coach is going to take you down that road. And I just think there is a place for both. There is a place for both.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think the life coach, how you find a life coach is interesting. Like with a counselor, it's like there are approved, like I got mine through work. But with how you find a life coach now, it is about you basing it off their, I don't know, their social media profile or whatever. So like how I found Lynn is Lynn had a podcast, and she had some rappers or some young men talking about their experience and talking about how they got through their problems and stuff. And I was like, that's what I want.
It's the one.
Because I wasn't there. Like even like hearing the way that I'm talking, the fluency that I'm talking with you guys now, I wasn't there 2 years ago. Like, and I saw Lynn doing these podcasts with these young men, and I was like, that's it. so then I reached out to her, and that's how we went on that journey.
The difficulty at the minute is that counsellors are regulated. You know, there's regulated bodies that we can join, and we then have our memberships and stuff like that. Life coaches don't have that as such, but they will do at some point, because it's growing. It's an industry that is growing. But how you found her is absolutely brilliant, because you can then see other people who are then working with her and listen to them, and then you know that's who you wanted. Which is good. It's really good. Right. I am paying attention. I'm going now.
Oh, it's because you was counsellor. Wow.
Yeah.
You're dropping some nuggets today, Mr. Hubbard. Oh my gosh. So when I met you, and you've performed at numerous International Men's Day, our book launch, fundraising events, you know, coaches and counsellors can challenge you in different ways. Both are valid and can be effective.
I mean, I can only talk about what worked for me. Like the counsellor didn't work for me because it was I don't know how to say it any other way, but it was a model based on a lack. If are you lacking this, or are you lacking that? And I didn't feel like I was lacking stuff. I didn't feel down on myself. I know other people felt like I could be doing more, but I didn't feel so. I wasn't so disappointed with myself. I'm doing all right, kind of thing. But maybe I could be doing a bit better. But you know, I'm not the worst guy out there. I think that was one of the things I was thinking. I'm not the worst out there. I'm not doing any crimes, and do you know what I mean? I'm not an alcoholic, or a drug addict. And I was like, okay, so, but and that's why I felt like the counseling was like to help you fix the problems. And I was like, but what I want to do is make my successes bigger, because I don't have enough success in my life right now. And I felt like it was a different process or a different thing to do that. So like one of the things, I've got a book, you probably, lots of people read it.
Do you mean as a written?
Anthony Robbins. Awaken the Giant Within. Do you know Anthony Robbins?
Heard of that.
Yeah. So I remember when I was an admin staff in Harrogate Council, one of the social workers gave me their ticket to see Tony Robbins.
Okay.
In I think, was it the Excel Center or whatever? and we walked on hot. I remember we walked on hot coals. That was the climax of the day. But it was very much like he was like really energetic and trying to get people to unleash the power that they had and that kind of stuff. And it was very, very weird. But like before I found my life coach Lynn Scott, I went to Tony Robbins's online counseling, and I asked them how much it was going to be, and it was some ridiculous price, like I can't remember, like $6,000 or something like that. And I'm like, am I going to see somebody in person? And I was like, no, it's all going to be online to Americans. And I'm like, could this be right? This price? Like, it just was like, I'm all a believer in investing in yourself, right? But I'm not a believer in bankrupting yourself to invest in yourself.
Get there.
And it's like, but there's a catch-22, because it's like the more money you risk on your coaching, the more you feel invested in it. So there's a part of me that was like, well, if I did lay down £6,000 for life coaching, I would have to make it work. So you'd be motivated to make your money back, kind of thing. So so I think I found I don't know, like I decided not to go with that anyway, Tony Robbins. But I know Tony Robbins was a big influencer in my brother's life. And my brother became a very successful investment manager. And I don't know if you know what investment managers do, but like they invest in the stocks and shares, and it's not their money that they're investing, other people's money. So like he did pretty well off it because he was inspired by Tony Robbins' books and the tapes. Because it was back in the days when
I know the sort of like and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So, my gosh, I'm looking at you, Mr. Hubbard, and I'm thinking, I know you sort of like angle and what having that, but if you don't mind me saying, you do look like you've lost a considerable amount of weight.
Oh right, yeah. But that's the whole part of the thing, isn't it? Because when I had my life coach, it wasn't just about improving my saxophone career. It's also improving my job, my main job career too, and improving my health.
Right. So it's a big all-round picture.
Yeah, it was a holistic approach. It was like, do this, and also improving my relationships with my family members. So it's like, do this for your dad this week, do this for your mum next week. It was, we started off really small. Do this for your wife this week, you know, go out for a walk, you know, sign up to a different gym, you know, you know, practice a little bit more on the saxophone, reach out to people that have booked you in the past and ask them if they can recommend you to people to play again. Like simple, basic steps that were easy. And then it kind of built off that. So yeah, so I've lost about 2 stone because I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. And yeah, it was, so I had to do a drastic change in my diet. And yeah, that's all I've seen to.
When you got told that, because Linda just messaged me, and he's been up since a ridiculous time in the morning, so I don't think he's going to make it on, unfortunately, tonight. But when you were told that, did you think that's an older person's illness?
No, do you know what? It made sense because I went onto their Desmond Day courses where they train you about what type 2 diabetes is and how it comes about. And it just made sense. It's like everything that I've been going through, everything I've been struggling with, I understand it now. Why am I tired when I'm consuming all this sugar to make me not tired? It was like, well, if you consume too much sugar on a regular basis, your insulin doesn't work properly, and then you're not actually getting the energy from it. Because I used to think, oh, I'm tired, I'm going to drink cola, or I'm going to have some sweets because give me a sugar boost. But that sugar boost in the long term is making you even more tired. And so I had to restructure my whole diet, cut out all the sugar. I for a while cut out all my carbs and just focused on meat and vegetables and steamed veg and salad. And now I just try and think, what different ways can I have vegetables, like roast it or microwave it or whatever, just to add variety to the vegetables. And I just focused on that for quite a bit. And but I didn't even lose weight with that really. Was because going to the gym, I didn't even lose weight, but like it was the walking. Like my wife started walking around the same time as I started going to the gym. And but before that, in my gym journey, I went like I was saying, a lot of these Instagram stuff is coming up to advertising coaching. So I got one of these things saying Bedford men who are over 40, if you are struggling with your weight and your loss and your confidence, come and join our thing. And like normally they don't, those adverts, I just flick past them.
But this time it hit.
This time it hit. I'm like, oh, I've got type 2 diabetes. I'm struggling to lose my weight. And it's like, Bedford men, if you want to transform your life, come around. So I went round and it was like £100 for the taster month or whatever. And like, you know, I did it because I'm like, I need to do something. And it was personal training 3 times a week for a month. And that was the key thing that changed it around for me, because I've been going to the gym, but I never had somebody standing next to me actually saying, fix up the thing, you know. So personal training, I really promote that as much as I can now, because for me that was the big change. Like going to the gym, Pure Gym, the gym, Bedford gyms and the Bunyan Center and that kind of stuff, it wasn't working because you're there by yourself and you're like, okay, I know how to use a machine, and you're just doing stuff. But having the personal trainer really like just fixed so many different things as part of my routine. So the guy Robert, I love him. He's really good. He's a great personal trainer. But I think one of the things though, right? So that is like I was saying, these things that they advertise on Instagram saying, you know, come and join our thing. The actual gym, I think, was like £200 a month.
Wow.
Like, do people
crazy
£200 a month? I didn't know that. that was the thing. But like, if you're really like desperate to change your health around, then I suppose you do it.
You're gonna pay,
I
right?
mean, to have a personal trainer at that, I suppose I get it. But I think it wasn't a person after the trial period. It wasn't a personal trainer. It was going to be 4 people to 1. So I'm like, I'm going to take the lessons I learned and take it to Pure Gym and see what happens. And so that worked out for me. So that's my gym journey. So and now I'm going regularly now. So it was for so many years paying gym memberships and not turning up. And then
Do you know what?
You get a diagnosis. Yeah. Go on.
I'm booking you. Cecile, make a note, please. Our international, I'm not joking. You think I'm joking. Our international men's event, you know, I need to have you there. Okay. I'm talking about speaking. I'm talking about speaking and sharing just, you know, part of your journey. Honestly, you don't know how. Sorry, Cecile, isn't he amazing?
Well, I think, do you know what? And that's why I wasn't ready, because the times when you called me, I was in the middle of that stuff.
No, but that's,
I hadn't met my life coach. I hadn't met my personal trainer.
Yeah, this is it.
Sometimes you don't need to be ready. Sometimes you just go. The first time I went and spoke, I think if I'd have thought about it, I wouldn't have done it.
And you wouldn't be here now, would you, really?
And I wouldn't be here now, being told off all the time.
For me,
you are ready now. You are ready now.
I feel more ready now, because like I got my diagnosis and I turned it around. Yeah. So I'm proud of turning that around. So that's what, because if I had my diagnosis and I hadn't turned it around, I wouldn't be like confidently saying, oh yeah, this worked and that worked. I'll be still thinking,
but it's not about that.
Yeah, this is it. Yeah.
It's not about going up there and saying I've turned it around. It's also about that journey. So you can say that this is what I've been doing and this is how far I've got, and the diabetes, I could do with losing a bit more. You know, you can do that.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be, this is what I've done and it's all done now. This is about a journey, and you're still on that journey.
I'm definitely still on that journey. 100%.
Yeah. But we've got you. You're on the list.
Yeah. I feel like the confidence that I got from being able to say I've lost 2 stone, or to being able to say, you know, I've yeah.
But I thought you was amazing before. You got to remember that,
right?
Because otherwise you wouldn't have been. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't be like Ian.
Yeah.
And now that I kind of like know.
Yeah, you still. That's.
And I'm still always reaching out, wasn't I?
You always booked me, even when I was going through all of that stuff. And,
See,
So thank you.
No, don't thank me. Thank you, Ian. There's so much more to talk about, but I'm going to need to wrap because I've got somebody else waiting in the wings.
Talk about my saxophone.
Of course. So what my thing is, so do you know what I mean? Ian, the sax. I've been to events, big events in London, and then in walks Ian Hubbard. I'm like, I know him.
Yeah. Was that the Daddy Ernie event?
Could have been, and there was an African something or other. Can't remember what it was when it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
African wear.
Yeah, a few. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been a few. Do you know what I mean? A few events.
I didn't actually wear anything African style. I wore my Trinidad.
I know. You need to get yourself kitted out, young man.
Yeah. Yeah, but so Daddy Ernie has always championed me as well, so I'm thankful to him. But so in terms of the music and stuff, do you know what, we have a lot more that I could talk about, because like I didn't even really say like where I was musically before, where I am musically now, like with the saxophone. And I think so I've produced some stuff and I've got it on Spotify and iTunes and Apple Music and that kind of stuff. But I think it's that journey of playing other people's music to actually play my own music was a bit of a hard journey to get to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I'm a trained musician, and that is like actually to be an artist is a different level of self-revelation.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have to reach into yourself and go, right, actually, how am I going to present myself? What do I want to say? What do I want to contribute to the world? Where do I fit in the world, and where do I feel like that my presence is useful?
Mm-hmm. And
then trying to translate those words into sounds
for people.
yeah. So I don't know how long you got to talk about that, but like that was an interesting part for me. But I think if the one thing I could say today is that getting my life coach Lynn Scott turned my life around, and like so I'm improving in my health, and I'm improving in my job, and I'm improving in my saxophone career, and I'm improving with my family, not just my mum and my dad, but my siblings and my wife and my kids. So
you got kids?
Yeah, I've got 2 kids.
How? See, I don't even know that. I know there's one. You got 2. How old's the youngest?
The youngest is 7.
And the eldest is?
15.
See, I know the youngest one, and I can't even believe 7 now. Oh my giddy aunt.
Yeah.
Wow.
Time flies, isn't it?
Something like that. We're going to do a deep dive on you, Mr. Hubbard. There's so much more. So much to this young man. We are going to be posting all your social media links, and obviously, which you've sort of sent me already, but we'll be sharing all of that information. So you're open for bookings. How far will you travel? If people are going to pay you, you'll travel anywhere, right?
Yeah. I'm glad that my calendar's starting to get booked up now. and that's good, because there's a point in time where I was like, oh, I don't have enough bookings and stuff. But it's good now. So I'm booked up like, I don't know, three weekends of every month, which is good. And then there's always that fourth weekend to get something in there. But yeah, it's going really well, and I just gonna keep pushing. Like, just that's what my counselor said, is like, you know, take up space in the world. Like, if you got something positive to contribute, and you got good aims, and you have talent, then don't be afraid to take up space.
Get it out there.
And yeah. So
oh wow!
That's what I'm trying to do.
Well done. I'm so, do you know what? On so many levels, so glad, because when you sort of said, I'm like, oh my goody aunt. Mr. Hubbard said, yes, I can't believe it. People that are watching out there that know this young man who's played at events and our book launch and all that sort of stuff, don't think Ian's just, I've tried my utmost to get this guy on the show. Trust me.
Yeah.
And he will verify that.
Thank you for this as well, because like, it's the first time I'm actually talking in this kind of way. And I didn't know like how, I didn't know if I'd be nervous, if I'd choke, or what would happen if I stuck.
Honestly, when you, because obviously this is recorded, right? So you'll be able to watch this because it's on YouTube. It's also on Facebook Live. So your family, what have you, if there's extracts from it you want to use to do promo stuff for your, whatever it might be, you can do whatever you want with it. But you've been absolutely incredible. And
yes. And you know, I want
so vulnerable
as well, because I got some ideas about stuff. And in fact, if you invite me to that, what was it, a men's day, or was it?
What do you mean if? There is no if. You are.
You invite me to?
International. It's in November. We will confirm a date.
And I want to do something for prostate cancer as well. So
Sorry?
You did something for prostate cancer before as well, didn't you?
And people that we have to talk about that, and different shows, and obviously being kind of relatively local, introduce you to other stations also as well, which I'm sure will be great.
Charity, the prostate cancer charity is my charity.
Okay.
My dad had it, and
is it?
Yeah, and
okay.
And he's
but is he still alive? He's still alive, right?
Yeah, my dad's 81. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I said I'll take him to the Montserrat thing.
Oh yes.
On the 19th, wherever.
19th. We'll talk before then, because I've got all that information. Mm-hmm. If you're going, I might make an effort.
You two are jokers, really. You are.
We're from Montserrat. Yay!
We've got 2 people waiting in the wings.
Don't tell me we've got Lyndon Wissart.
He's there.
That man. Right. Ian.
Yes.
Even though you might go off and do other stuff, still stay tuned, because Lyndon Wissart is, remember I told you, the Mr. Diabetes, who written a book.
Yeah.
Written a book, had it, reversed it in, I should remember, 90-something or other, 80-something or other days, and reversed it, written a book, and has been all over talking about.
Yes, because I'd like to know about that reversing part, because my blood test came back and it said borderline, but it was like underneath the level. And I said, so do I need to speak to the doctor? And they were like, no, you don't. And I was like, dude, I need to have some kind of fanfare to say like your diabetes 2 free or something. And just say,
play the sax.
I want some kind of confirmation that is in remission. It's not just, I had to go in the test. They didn't even contact me. I had to go in the NHS.
See, don't approve of that. Don't approve of that. What's Sandra Moore saying, Cecile? Because she said after 9. She said after 9 because she had something else to go.
I think she's most probably in the background. I think she's in the background. Yeah. So she's. I can't see her, but yeah.
Sandra Moore. So, I'm ending with you because you've got so much that we got to talk. But because we're talking diabetes, and Lyndon is not going to be long because he's been up since 4 a.m. Can I bring Lyndon on? Ian, stay on for a bit because I want to.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Mr. Wissart.
Indeed. I'm rested now, thank God.
How are you?
Yeah.
Ian, this is how far I go back. My very first show was the 1st of May 2018, and
Wow.
this young man was a guest. We used to be in the studio then. Was a guest on my very first show. That's how far, and that's 2018.
Wow.
And I don't know if you were kind of listening just a little bit there, Lyndon, but I've kind of brought you on. You've bumped Sandra.
Yeah, sorry,
Sandra Moore.
Sandra, do forgive me. Forgive me.
Bumped Sandra Moore. But this young man, Ian, I don't know if you've heard any of his story, his journey there. At all, Lyndon, but he was just sort of saying that he had diabetes type 2. Do you want to just say that little bit that you were just saying, Ian, so that Lyndon can hear?
I heard you, Ian.
All right.
I got
can you hear me?
Oh,
yeah.
Ian, can you hear me? Yeah.
Okay.
You said you're borderline. Yeah, diabetes.
Yes.
One thing they don't do what they should do with you when you mention you're diabetic or you're pre-diabetic, stuff like that. Find out what your HbA1c is. Yeah, the HbA1c is when they take when you get a blood test. Yeah, that determines what if you're diabetic or not. So it tells you what your blood. Sorry,
it's 46.
46.
Yeah.
Well, you're not too bad then, because the normal love is 40, 42. I don't know if they change it, because sometimes they change the.
But when I was diagnosed with type 2, it was 50. It was 56.
So it's come down already. Well, you're doing something right.
Yeah.
You're doing something
right.
right.
From 56 to 46. 56 back in August.
Yeah.
And now 46 in June.
So you're doing whatever you're doing, like they said to me, keep doing it. You know, when my HbA1c was 92.
No way.
When I was diagnosed, my blood glucose level was
not even on the chart.
Okay, can we kind of?
That's not even on the chart.
Can we? Lyndon.
Yes.
It's important for you. Thank you so much for taking time out, because I know you're tired and knackered. And some people know a bit about you, some people don't. And obviously, I've got Ian on here at the minute now. But can you kind of take us back to, I mean, how you found out? Because these are key things that there's lots of us, and we're like now, and we're just like, oh, we're thirsty, it's so hot, blah, blah, blah. But just take us back.
I think what we'll have to, because I haven't got much time now to go into the details. I'll just give you a synopsis of what happened to me. I had a breakdown. Basically, I had a breakdown one day, and I just couldn't focus. I had all the symptoms of type 2 diabetes. So I was type 2 diabetic, I had a lot of symptoms. I had blurred vision. I was feeling hungry all the time. I had I would get weight gain. And that's another story. I was always thirsty, but not drinking water, drinking fizzy drinks. I was urinating about 3-4 times an hour. Sometimes I didn't even make it to the toilet. Yeah, I had numbness in my fingers, my toes as well. And I was always tired, just like today. But tired was due to the waking up early and the late night I had before, So, yeah, but I was always tired. So I had all these different symptoms, and I had blood in my stool. I had pains in my stomach. I just had so much stuff going wrong with my body, mentally and physically. So I broke down one day. So at work, they said to me, you either go home or you go to the doctors. I decided to go to the doctor. Yeah, okay. I got through, and they told me to come through the same day to come and see the doctor. And when I went to see the doctor, it was a strange journey home anyway, and it was a strange feeling sitting in the actual surgery, waiting to be called in, because I didn't want to be there, and I didn't want to find out if it's positive or negative to what's going wrong with me. So I went in there. The doctor touched my body, feeling my way. I had pains. They couldn't find nothing, and they said they're going to send you to hospital to get a full check. I told them about the blood. They said they booked me an hospital check to go and get my blood tested again to see why my well, I got blood in my stool, that kind of thing. So that's another story. The last thing that said to me before I left, so let me take a pink glucose blood test from you, which is doing a finger. And when they done that one, they said, you're probably diabetic because it was 15.9. And I said, wow, okay. But at that time, it didn't mean nothing to me because I knew nothing about diabetes. Yeah, it meant nothing to me. So went for the HbA1c blood test. When the results came through, it was 92 and it's supposed to be 42. Yeah. And it didn't mean nothing to me. The only thing that concerned me is that when the doctor told me I'm diabetic, the look on her face was like, wow, this is serious. Do you know what I'm saying? Because it changed from a normal to like, wow. You know what I'm saying? So the first thing the doctor said, arm went like that to the side. We've got to put your medication, you know? And I thought to myself, medication, what's that? And I remember two things in my life, yeah? Number one is when I went to see a friend's mother. She was sick. And when I went in, I saw her. She said, Lyndon, the sugar get me. Yeah. And in Jamaica, when you say the sugar get me, that means diabetes. Yeah. And that's a death sentence. That's why they don't say diabetes. Okay. So what also happened, yeah, I remember my cousin Ken, who was type 1 diabetic at the time. Yeah. Okay. He said, Lyndon, if you ever become diabetic, don't take medication because there are side effects to it. So I'm with my doctor now. My mindset, you know, like you talking about, Ian, you know, your mental health. Do you know what I'm saying? This is where it comes into. Who do I listen to? Do I listen to a professional or do I listen to my cousin, you know, who's done his own research, or the doctor that's done their own research, you know? And I was confused on what to do in that sense. So I thought to myself, you know something? I love my cousin dearly. I really do. And I trust him because I grew up with him, you know? And I said to the doctor, listen, I want to try without medication. Yeah, I want to try without medication. So she said, okay, I don't recommend it, but come back in 3 weeks' time. Yeah, and we're going to do another HbA1c blood test. Yeah, okay. So I said, fine. But don't remember one thing now, yeah? HbA1c blood test, they normally take it once a year. Okay. So I'm going to be taking mines twice within 3 months. Within 3 weeks, sorry. Yeah, within 3-4 weeks. Yeah, okay. So within 25 days, yeah, my HbA1c went from 92 down to 77. Yeah. In another 28 days, it went down from 77 down to 60. Yeah. And then a total of 105 days, it went down to 41 it went down to. So I've reversed it back to normal in 105 days without medication. Yeah. Some people say you're still diabetic. Someone said to me the other day, you're still diabetic, even though you brought it down below the level. And because they can't comprehend with it. Do you know what I'm saying? So they said you're going to live with diabetes for the rest of your life because you were diabetic. So whatever it is. But when I reversed my diabetes, yeah, okay, I felt so much better. I had no symptoms, nothing like that, so much energy, yeah? And just to summarize, the 4 things that I done, number 1 was my mental state. Can I do it? What do I need to do? And what I needed to do was have somebody around me who can guide me, like my cousin Ken. The information, I started to do research about certain foods, flavonoid foods, what to eat, what not to eat. Yeah. Number 2, I tried to change my diet. Yeah. I cut out meats. I cut out white stuff, pasta, rice, potatoes, all these things. Number 3, physical activity. I was going to the gym every morning because I'll drop my daughter off to school. Yeah, for 8:30. Then I go to the gym for 3-4 hours and just do cardio, skipping, the bike, the rowing, anything to get my heart going and anything to lose the weight. Because I was overweight, yeah? And I knew I was overweight because my mum told me I was overweight. My mum said to me one day, Lyndon, your belly will get big. I said, Mum, you can't talk to me like this. I'm the youngest of the family, the baby. She said, look pan yourself. Go look pan yourself. She said, pig don't know when pigs stink. Yeah? And this is what my mum said. And the final thing, yeah, is intermittently fasting. Yeah? I did not even know what intermittently fasting was. Yeah, I only knew when I spoke to one of my friends. She's a doctor. Yeah, and I told her my journey, what I was doing. And she said, Lyndon, you are intermittently fasting because when I go to the gym in the morning, I just drink water. I wouldn't eat nothing for about 4 or 5 hours. But when I get back to my car, I'll have a punny of blueberries and a banana, and that was it. Then the rest of the evening, afternoon, because I was so afraid of eating foods, at that time, I didn't want my blood sugars to raise, And one of the things that I was doing once a month before I was going for it, I was doing the 24-hour fasting, just drinking water. So when I go for the blood test, my blood sugars will be low. Yeah. So psychologically, you're thinking, okay, I'm not going to eat because that rises the blood sugar. Yeah. So if I don't eat, it's going to go down. So in total, my full journey, I went down to, I think it was about 36 HbA1c, something like that. It went 36, 31. I went very low. Do you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I lost a lot of weight. I was losing so much weight that people say to me, Lyndon, you need to stop. You need to stop, because I just wasn't looking the same person anymore. I lost so much weight. I did. I went from a 38 waist down to a 32 waist. I did. And now I'm a 30. I'm not even sure. I'm 30, about 32, 34, because I still got some trousers. Some of them fit me right, some of them don't. And I still got the 38 trousers. And I put it on, I thought to myself, wow, was I that big at that time? Do you know what I'm saying? So that's just summarize.
You got the book there?
Sorry, yeah. The Inspired Diabetic. Yeah. You can get a book anywhere. You can. Yeah. But let me just quickly summarize part of my journey, Ian. Yeah. Okay. For one day, because I didn't live in London, I lived outside London. My journey into work in the mornings, I had to be at work for 7 o'clock. So I had to leave early. So what I do 3 slices of hard-boiled bread. Yeah. I'd have butter on it, and then I put jam on it. Yeah. Okay. But then, them hard-boiled bread, they're not small sizes, but when we cut it, we make sure we cut it nice and thick anyway.
Ain't it?
And plenty jam on there. And also what I used to have a latte, a sachet latte. The sachet latte has got powdered milk in it, and it's also had sugar in it already. But what I would do, I would add 3 to 4 teaspoons of Demerara sugar, brown sugar, because it's supposed to be a healthier option for you. Yeah. And during the summertime, I used to get my eyes used to itch, my nose used to itch, my throat used to itch, and I couldn't understand why. And I told my friend about it, and he said, Lyndon, you got hay fever. I said, what do you mean I got hay fever? So when I looked up the symptoms of hay fever, that's what I had. But to get rid of the hay fever, because I live in a country, what I would do, I'll go to the local farm shop or local shop where they've got their own honey, But you know something? The small jar had a big price. Had a big price, and it was expensive. So what I started off that way for a little bit. Then I go to the bigger stores and get the big jars with a small price. And these other honeys, they're full of sugar. Do you know what I'm saying? And they got crossbreed of different honeys in it as well. So that was my journey to work. Once I got to work, I was working on the pastry section. And then we'd have to cut these cakes. And each portion had to be the same size. So to get each portion the same size, you got to trim the cake, the edges. So all those trimmings were going to a bowl in front of me. And I'll be eating that. Someone would come in the kitchen and say, Lyndon, you want a cup of tea or coffee? I said, yeah, I would. So I'd have a cup of tea or coffee with my sugar, and I find a bit of honey, but this is not the healthy honey, in my thing, and I'm eating the trimmings for the cake and cutting and eating. Crazy. Lunchtime come, there'd be pasta, rice, potatoes, beef, chicken, lamb, chips, fizzy drinks or water for us to eat. There's always a selection, for us to eat. So when you have to eat everything, isn't it? Because it's not every day you're going to eat like that. So I'm just up to myself for lunchtime. In the afternoon, at about 2:30, 3 o'clock, we'll have a tea break. Tea break, got to have my tea or coffee with some. You can't have tea. You got to have some biscuits with it though. Can't eat just drink tea without it. You have to have something with it. So I was eating biscuits and tea, biscuits and cake at the same time in the afternoon as well. When I'd finished work around 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, at that time there's rush hour, so it's going to take about an hour and a half to get home. What I used to do, I used to go to the corner shop, one of these shops, to get a free meal deal, which used to be a BLT sandwich, a fizzy drink, or a chocolate bar, or a pack of crisps. It depends what it was. So I'd have that in my car on my way home. And in my car sometimes I could hear this noise, ka-ching, ching, ka-ching, ching. I said, what's that noise? So I look in my boots, and I used to have cases of J2O in there, but which I forgot about, And the reason why I had J2O in the box, because I didn't drink alcohol. Yeah, when I go to the pubs, the clubs, parties, and stuff like that, I used to drink fizzy drinks. So I had to find a drink that I enjoy drinking, and J2O was that. But when you go to the pub, a bottle of J2O was £2.50. Yeah, I go to cash and carry because I'm a chef. Yeah, when you go cash and carry, they got this big sign, case of J2O for £5.50. Make sense of it. Make sense of it. So I'm thinking to myself, why am I spending £2.50 when I could buy a case for £5.20 or £5.50? So I bought a few cases. Ian, mentally, yeah. When I open the car boot, this is after a period of time, yeah. I'd have a bottle opener with me. I'd go to the boot, I'd open one bottle, and I'd drink one right there on the spot. And then I'd take another bottle and put in the car with me to go home on my journey. Yeah. On my journey home, I'd eat my sandwiches, have the drinks by the time I get home. Once I got home, yeah, my wife would probably have cooked something. Yeah. So you can't tell your wife, I'm not going to eat now. I've been eating all day. You say, what's wrong with my food? You got to eat something. So there again, you got to eat again. Yeah. And you know the thing about it? I used to have my two favorite drinks, ginger beer and mango juice, waiting for me. Yeah. So after eating the food, it would be a carbohydrate, pasta, rice, potato, or a meat dish, whatever it is. Yeah. What do we do, guys? We sit on the sofa, switch the TV on, and we go to sleep.
Mr. Wissart.
We go to sleep. Yeah. And that was my evening. Let me 1 second, D. I know I'm gonna finish right now. Yeah. And then what we do, Ian, when we wake up, we go and have a cup of tea. Yeah. Then we have a few biscuits with it. Yeah.
Start again.
And then we start. And then we finish the pack of biscuits. Not 1, 2, we finish the pack of biscuits. And Ian's laughing because we've been there. Yeah.
Some of it, not all of it. Not all of it. Some of it.
That was my daily intake of food.
I got a question for you though.
Sorry?
I got a question for you. You said about afterwards, the changes that you made, your relationship with carbs. You were saying about rice and potatoes. What was your relationship with that as you were changing?
I stopped eating them.
Better.
I stopped eating them.
Yeah, but you said like all carbs or just some carbs?
Anything white, all white carbs, pasta, rice, potatoes, alcohol.
Look at Ian's going like shit, damn.
How did you come out at that though? Was that what your cousin advised you, or like?
No, because my doctor said that's my eating habits. Yeah, put me in diabetic. So if this is my normal daily lifestyle, how am I going to stop it?
But people haven't been saying rice, like, because I went to the Desmond Day thing and they were talking about potatoes, and I'm like, no one ever said potatoes was unhealthy, like, so like, and then they were saying, oh, rice is okay, and then it's like rice, potatoes, like as you're saying, that kind of stuff. Those
guys, I'm really sorry to cut this because I can see I'm going to need to connect you so you continue the conversation.
Give me my number. I'll link up with you.
Yeah, I will do.
All right.
I will do, purely as in like Sandra's patiently been waiting. Lyndon, you're a star. Thank you so much. And also Ian, thank you guys so much. And we'll catch up really soon. Thank you, Lyndon. Much love. And you, Ian, thank you. Oh, wow. Do you know what? I thought I had a friend, but I probably ain't going to have a friend now because she did say after 9, but I don't think she thought this late after 9. But Sandra Moore may be in the house. Hello, Dee. I can't see you, Sandra. We can't see you.
Wow. Wow.
Miss Moore, I thought I got a message because what it is, I'm on my phone, and if I come off my phone, I've logged myself out, and I thought it said that you'd gone.
Yeah, I had to go and do something, but I kept.
Oh right, I thought you meant as in you'd gone.
Yeah, no, I had to go do something.
Oh, don't worry. So for those masses still with us, because there are, and still wanting to know, oh my gosh, has she still got guests? Yes, I have. And Sandra Mori is here. Oh my gosh, so much to this young lady. I don't even know where to start. But I don't know. Why should I start? What do you want to tell the people about yourself? What are you doing right now? Not right now, but I mean as in like...
what am I not doing?
You're a certain... Isn't it? She's just... Something's crackling. I don't know what it is. What's crackling?
I don't know.
Can you hear it?
Yeah, I can. It comes on every now and again. What am I doing right now? So right now, obviously the day job, working.
No, not obviously. I might know that. These people don't know.
Okay. So quick background, was a registered general nurse, changed career, became an environmental health practitioner, now chartered, and now studying for naturopathic nutrition.
OMG, the G.
Degree, 2 months left, under a lot of pressure. It's funny listening to Lyndon about the diet, because my last assignment was on diabetes type 2, and one of the things we had to include was lifestyle. So I do qigong, I lead qigong sessions, etc. And I was doing some research on it, and it's just fascinating. People may think all these things are woo-woo. Qigong doctors, they've done these clinical trials, and with walking meditation, breath work, qigong, you can lower your HbA1c. And when I saw that evidence, I was like, wow. Obviously, there must be other things. The research didn't say what type of food they ate or whatever, but things like fibromyalgia as well. So that's really fascinating. It is really.
Oh, we've got a director producing today, so that's good to know.
Yes.
Very. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
My biggie for this year, apart from qualifying, final exams at the end of August, is I'm running another retreat in Barbados.
You mean the retreat that we went on?
The retreat you went on. So, it's got living, talking, walking proof that, it's something that transforms. It was a transformational retreat last year. So many people got different things from it. Opened up new avenues, new ways of thinking, resetting, getting rid of things that doesn't serve them anymore. And the retreat is, some people have said to me, why it's too long, it's 2 weeks. I see some retreats and people call them retreats, and I see them, they're shorter days. It doesn't give the person time to assimilate the information or whatever, because you're there and you're caught up in it, and then you come away and you go back to your life. Not saying that doesn't happen with a longer retreat, but it gives you a bit more time to reflect. So that's why my retreats at the moment are for 2 weeks.
Amazing.
And it's a time for you to take for yourself. It's a time for you to reflect and just see where you can make those small changes for you to have more joy, more time, more nourishment in your life, and we all got to take those nourishing moments when we can. So, my retreats are about nourish and nurture. As I say, it's 2 weeks in Barbados this year. And I know flights are via Virgin, so they're from around, they've gone up a little bit now, but they're around 600-700, so it's not unachievable. And then if people want to find out more about the price, they can contact me for the accommodation. The cost of the accommodation include the retreat actually includes 7 lunches or dinner and 14 breakfasts. You've got use of a pool. We'll have daily qigong on the beach, and you can talk about that day, or if Cecile's around, we can talk about your experience on it, not just me going on about it. Sip and paint again, which was great.
We'll always talk about the sip and paint.
Sip and dance this year. This year I've added dance.
Oh.
So we've got Brazilian souk, salsa, merengue, and bachata.
Oh,
Got
wonderful.
someone coming in to do that. And dance is a wonderful way to express yourself. It's you just letting go and just letting all your inhibitions go and just relaxing. And your body needs that. Your body needs that release from all the pressure and stress that we have in our everyday lives. So we've got that. And then for those of you who watched the Clive Myrie last year,
Yes.
we were
Yes.
there first. We went to Helios, a day at Ocean Views retreat in St. John's.
Yes.
She was featured on the Clive Myrie show, going around the
Yes.
Caribbean. We've got another day there.
Oh,
If
wow.
you feel the producer would like to come out and tell her story of that cliff
Oh,
walk, that would be great. I really would like
which
her
one?
to
The one where
share
she
that.
championed and fought her
Yes,
fear and oh my
pushed through
gosh.
her comfort zone. And I think for me, that was one of the biggest things that I took away from that.
Yeah.
Cecile, you explain. You talk about.
It's. I mean, if you can and you can afford, then you need to go. You need to go. Barbados retreat, the things that Sandra puts in place, the sip and paint. Now you've got some dance. It's absolutely wonderful and really gives you that time for you. So we went to Delia's yoga retreat and we did yoga first, and she's very inclusive. You know, she'll ask you whether you've got any ailments or anything like that, you know, and and when I said, oh, I've got fibromyalgia, she said, oh, so you ache every day then, don't you? And I'm like, yes. And then she kept checking on me, you know.
Yeah.
So the
Very
yoga
sensitive.
was wonderful. And then we went on this hike.
Is it called a hike?
Yeah.
Well, I think we climbed a mountain myself, but
well, yeah,
that's what it felt like. It felt like that. It was way out of my comfort zone. I'd already decided before we got there that I wasn't going to do it.
You did say that.
Yeah, you did.
Told everybody, not doing it. It's fine. You go. I even took my book.
I'll hold the bags. Yeah.
I took my book there with me to just sit and read. And Delia said to me, "You can do this." And I could hear myself saying, "Yes, okay, I can do this."
Yeah.
I thought, what the hell?
And we kind of all looked and thought, hang on a minute.
All of you were like,
doing it.
What? And we all were pushed outside our comfort zone. And we didn't go there saying that this was going to be a team building thing, but it actually was, because we all worked together.
It was.
Because we were on the ledge, we were down the hill, we were going across where there was nothing to hold on to. There was water, people slipped on their backsides. Yeah. And it was amazing once I got down there. Very nervous going back, and Sandra was the one that helped me. There was one part where I just said, I can't do this. And then Sandra, you just came along and said, right, come on, let's go together. And I remember, as I'm getting out of breath, you said, do you need to stop? And I'm like, no, let's go. And we just went. Amazing, absolutely amazing. And I even said, and everybody else was like, what is going on with her? I even said I would do that again, but not on that trip.
Yeah.
It was it just met every little thing that you might be worried about. It was all there in that walk, every little bit. And it was wonderful.
Yeah.
It was wonderful.
And what you said about being together and the teamwork, it was a natural. It wasn't like it just flowed. One minute we were walking separately, next minute we were holding hands, helping each other, pulling each other up and stuff like that. And I think that was the beauty of it. And that was on like the 7th day that we were there. So we had 7 days before to kind of bond. And, you know, most of us knew each other, but there were a few people that didn't know each other. But even for those who it was the first time all coming together, it was just a wonderful time and space. So you know, I really would like to encourage anyone, you know, just contact me. If you think, oh, it's too, just contact me and we can talk about it. And then we, you know, we can take it from there. I mean, one of the beautiful thing I'm adding this year, because I'll be qualified, will be more of a naturopathic approach to your diet. Now, Lyndon was talking about diabetes, there's fibromyalgia, and I don't know if you heard what I said, part of my assignment was to research lifestyle choices for diabetes. And when I found out, I mean, I practice Qigong and breath work and meditation, and I lead those sessions. I just thought, what a wonderful thing to be able to share with other people. You know, I personally think it's a combination of everything, because we're not going to be doing everything perfect all the time, but as long as you do one thing in your day that is contributing a positive effect on whatever your conditions are, because, you know, we all have different conditions. I've got, and I'm happy to talk about it, I've got hypothyroidism, you know, and Qigong does help that as well. You know, it's a practice thing. The retreat will allow you, as I say, time to reflect, time to actually take stock of where you are, what you want to do moving forward. And if you just incorporate one change in your daily practice, you'll find that change just builds and builds and builds until you're actually, oh my gosh, I don't do that anymore, I don't eat that anymore, I don't drink that anymore. You're on a journey.
You start making different choices, as in because it's plant-based again.
It's plant-based again. It was the majority of it was plant-based, and we have a chef that brings in food every day. I'm going to
same chef.
It will be same chef, but I'm going to try a different person to try different varieties of plants and juices and that sort of thing. But Corey is my main foundation for it.
Let me tell you something now. I was like, I know Cecile was like, they were going like, what are they? What's Cecile gonna eat? What's Cecile gonna eat? And I'm telling you, oh my gosh, there's things that you would never dream of putting together, and somehow, I don't know, this guy is creating some amazing dishes. And I have changed, not everything, but there are choices that I now make. And it's like, right, do you know what? I'm going to go for that. So I can't thank you enough, Sandra. Seriously.
Are you eating the quinoa?
I was eating that before.
Oh, was you?
Oh,
yeah.
Please, Cecile, tell your story about death
by quinoa.
Oh,
Give people a flavour, excuse the pun, of the fun. The fun we had.
The fun was there on every single day. We had fun and we laughed. And so anybody who knows me, anybody who doesn't know me, I'm very fussy with what I eat, and I'm very basic,
I'm supposed to be fussy,
and I'm fussy, and I'm all of that, and I own all of that. And even my kids and my friends said to me, what are you going to eat? Because we'd seen Sandra had sent through a bit of the menu, and all of that was just like, oh my God, what am I going to eat? So we goes there, we're on the plane. We haven't even got to Barbados.
It's hilarious.
On the plane.
Hilarious.
Virgin. We didn't do Virgin, did we do BA?
No, we did Virgin.
Any one of them. So they then gave us something for our lunch, and it had quinoa. It was disgusting. And I just thought,
yum.
They're trying to kill me, and I haven't even got them.
Oh, you're so funny.
However, when we did get there, Corey's quinoa was not the flight's quinoa. It was very, very different. And I ate
tasty, flavouring, absolutely outstanding. Yeah. Outstanding.
Yeah. So, you know, as I say, the retreat is there. Please contact me. We can talk about, you know, any queries that you might have, we can talk about it. The apartments are lovely. There is a swimming pool there. All the apartments have got kitchenettes in, so
Oh my God, massive.
if you don't fancy the food, then you can cook. You can cook. There are really nice local restaurants there, but the beauty of it is there's the beach, which is about 5 minutes walk.
Do you know what? When people say things like that, and you're like going like they say 5 minutes,
It's
but
not
they
5
mean like
minutes. It's
it
about 15,
literally
20
is probably
minutes.
less than
It's
5 minutes. Honest to God,
and it's
guys.
just down the hill, isn't it? And Shades
Yeah.
of Barbados, if anyone wants to look it up, it's Shades of Barbados. It's in Paynes Bay. It's just set in a beautiful oasis, isn't it?
It's beautiful.
Yeah, and the host.
Everyone was a bit shocked when it turned into the road.
Yes.
And they're like, "Where's Sandra taking us?" And then they just go through this gate and you open up and it's a beautiful, beautiful oasis of tranquility, absolute tranquility. And the owners of Shades, I actually went to school with the brothers, and Errol was in my class. So, so I know I've known him, in my childhood, teenage years, and then met up again with him about 50 years ago. 50 years ago? It's 50 years.
It's late, people. It's late. We get it. We get it. Let me tell you something now. I would thoroughly recommend.
Yeah.
If you could go. And you know what? You're thinking you're going to get X. Let me tell you, you're going to get X, Y, Z, and let's go again.
Yeah.
And let's go again. Honestly,
the workshops, there'll be sort of gut health, nutritional workshops. There'll be a few more workshops now because obviously I'll have more information and I'll be qualified to sort of talk about them. And the nutritional plan is not included in the price, but I'm happy to work with people to do consultations and to draw them up a nice nutritional plan that they can follow as well. And I can do that after September or after August. I'll be able to do that for anyone who's interested in that. And it's a nice add-on as well for any other health and well-being, people doing health and well-being out there. Nutrition is key. It is the one thing that if we're discerning about, that we can use instead of conventional medicine. Now, conventional medicine has its place. I'm not saying it doesn't. It has its place. But if you can take it initially to settle down any symptoms, what I do is look at root causes of illnesses. So why is this happening? Why did diabetes happen? Why is fibromyalgia happening? Why is hyperthyroidism happening? And we look at that. And for women, the autoimmune disease, we suffer most because we go through the most trauma. And a lot of the autoimmune diseases stem from trauma. So, we look at that from a nutritional aspect as well.
Yeah.
Sandra Moore.
Yeah,
we're going to get you back.
To say, but it's late.
Yeah, we're going to get you. Do you know what I mean? Have to get you back. So, how many spaces have you got? Because this is nice and intimate, isn't it?
Yes, it is an intimate. There's not loads of people. 5 spaces left.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and as I say, the rooms are beautiful. That everything's beautiful about Shades. And you've got optional extras as well. Things like the catamaran cruise, going to gardens. You'll have massage. You can have massage or Reiki, sound acupuncture. So the sound. I'll do a couple of sound baths, as people know them as. I call them sound harmonization. And at night with the actual whistling frog, the wind in the tree, that is just beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. So anybody who's had any of those before, this is on a whole different level, because you might as well forget them. And obviously you're outside, and it's just absolutely wonderful. Just go find your money, people. Go find your money.
Yeah.
Go find your money and go and treat yourself to 2 weeks away. That's what
Do you
it's
know
about.
what? And I think on my vision board that I did, I don't know, probably about 7 years ago now. And how much are you worth?
Yeah.
How much are you worth? Oh, it's so much. It's so much. How much are you worth? Do we ever invest? Is this women only, by the way?
No, men can come along as well.
Yeah. So how much do we invest in ourselves? We don't. There's always something, and I can't afford it because there's this
My
and there's that.
children, I've got this bill.
There's always a reason why we can't do stuff. Always a reason why. And yeah.
But I think because obviously last year was the first one, and there's going to be more. And I think what we did last year, which is what people need to do, is take that leap of faith, invest in yourself, and go on this retreat. If you want to do a retreat, then go and do this retreat. It's, you know, I can't even say it, the place is fabulous. The apartments are fabulous. Everything's involved in it is fabulous, and it's just going to push you to this other level that you need to be at to find yourself. It's just wonderful. It's great.
And the thing is, what we've got to remember with, you know, if we're giving from we can't give from an empty shell, and a lot of the times we do until we're drained, and then we break, you know, and that breakage shows up with conditions, illnesses, hypothyroid, fibromyalgia, diabetes, all of that shows up because we're not taking care of ourselves properly. And I'm very much into that holistic approach to health, and my tagline is nourish and nurture. You know, nourish and nurture yourself. So yes, on that note, I mean, there will be some short retreats sort of early next year. I'll do a couple of days, maybe more workshop type things, because, you know, as I've going through this 2 years with the nutrition course, I'm not just going to qualify and then sit back and think, oh, I've done that, tick. I'm going to be there to support and help people. So yeah,
sorry,
that's okay.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I don't even know what more to say. Sandra, we're going to get you back. If we can get you back on the daytime show, that would be wonderful also as well. I've just had a thought. 28th of July. I think it's a Monday.
Oh,
what do you do in the evening on a Monday?
Oh, meditation.
Oh, she does a class. She does a meditation class. But maybe you could miss one.
What's it's the summer holidays around that time, and I normally take a break around that time, plus it's coming up to my exams and stuff as well. So yeah, what's happening on the 28th of July?
You have a conversation.
Yeah, we need to have a conversation.
Okay.
Yeah.
We need to have a conversation. Yeah. I've just kind of like, you know, when you had that light bulb.
Yeah.
I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Might need to borrow you.
I'd have to consult my rates.
Yeah, that's what we thought. That's what we thought. Well, actually, that's okay. That's okay. Isn't it?
Yes, that's okay. Yes.
That's okay. Yes.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
we will talk. I'm not even joking.
Okay.
We will talk.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
So we are going to wrap up. Sandra, thank you for being so patient, darling. But we're going to share all that information.
For you and Cecile, that's fine.
Oh, thank you, darling. Okay, Cecile, if you can kindly
close us down.
Sandra.
Remove Sandra. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. I was going to say eject, but I don't mean eject.
Bye.
Oh no, I did D and not Sandra.
So, oh my gosh, this is a first. I was going to say a last, but it won't be. The tag team, Yeah, what an amazing night, Cecile.
It's been very good. It's been very good.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much to all guests today, to Ash, to Joe, to Daniela, to Sandra, to Lyndon, to Ian. Oh my gosh, didn't read Tishi's.
Oh no. Okay.
Don't disappear yet. Let me see if I can find it. This was what happens when I try to do stuff. Ah.
See, that's what happens when we're left to our own devices. We have to muddle our way through, and we've managed to do that and get through a whole show. And it's been an absolutely brilliant show. Absolutely brilliant. Dee's trying to find Tishi's update. But anybody who's watching on catch up, you know, or even if you're just watching now and there's anything you want to share with us, just let us know. Is there anything that you want to come on and talk about? Always welcome. Just let us know and you can come on. Are you back now?
Yeah, I can't see it.
Okay. Well, if you find
it,
then I'll do it on the show on Tuesday.
Brilliant. Exactly that. So we are wrapping now. This is Cecile in the chair as producer. Do you see what I mean about sort of like having to do that and do the guests and do people messaging you, can't make it, can make it, and it's like but absolutely amazing. I'm going to listen back to this tomorrow. Thank you everyone who's taken time out tonight. Cecile, thank you so much for being in the chair.
That's fine.
The Shelley Titmus is like just taking a little time out. I've can't think of the word. I've given her enough over the past, oh my gosh, since COVID. You're talking 5 and a bit. 5 and a bit. That is literally just over 5 years.
It's just over 5 years.
Yeah, just over 5 years. Of doing the show, because obviously we're no longer in the studio, so she's having a breather, and so I've wrote this one in.
So in it. Oh my god.
Yeah, I know. So I'm sure there might be some comments. So honestly, thank you all. Please don't forget to share. So many important messages, and we will be back on the 1st of August. Also, I know Cecile may not have mentioned, but she's mentioned tonight, I know, Monday, the 28th of July. Is that the correct date, Cecile?
Yeah.
Monday, the 28th of July. Embrace. This is new. We are partnering with Menopause Alliance. That's probably not the right name, but Menopause Alliance. And we are going to be starting up a wellness group. It's called Embrace Luton Women's Wellness Group, and it's going to be bi-monthly, and the first meeting is Monday the 28th of July, 6:30 to 8:30 at the Luton Irish Forum. Is the word free? Is it free, Cecile?
It's free.
Jeez.
It's free.
Another one. So this is free. Okay, so if you are a woman out there, and you know what, there may be things that you're going through, or there may be things that you want to ask questions about, but sometimes you don't get that information, or you kind of don't want to ask. We're going to give you that opportunity to do so. We are going to have some special guests, and we will let you know that nearer the time. But if you just give us contact us at simplydeezevents@gmail.com. If you don't know that by now, maybe you shouldn't be going. I'm just saying they should know that. They should know that.
They should.
But and you know what, weirdly enough, the word Menopause Alliance, we're teaming up with them, so you may not be of menopause age, because weirdly enough, I went to work, I think it was last week, and was talking about it, and you know what, there was a young guy who was saying that his daughter is only 20, she wasn't feeling too great and hasn't been for a while, and went to the doctor, and they said she's got what's it, that thingy ovaries?
Polycystic ovaries.
That's it.
Wow.
And is that not what I said? Because sometimes things are happening to people when they're younger. And if you're not aware of, we kind of like, oh, that's the norm, that's the norm. And we only start investigating or doing things when we're older.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if we find out things now and we want to know more information, so please, 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 there's limited spaces. So don't think, oh, right, you're going to contact us a day before and lo and behold, yes, you can jump on, because it's not like that. It's going to be an intimate group. We're looking at a maximum of what, 15 to 20 people max. So yeah, so let us know. We'll have a conversation with you, see if you kind of like, if it potentially is going to work for you, and we will take it from there. So for now, the disco lights are going here, so I need to go. Cecile, once again, thank you so much. Shelly Titness in the house, we love you. Thanks for all that have watched tonight, and we will see you real soon. Okay, thank you and good night.